Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
The East is where we're from. The 12 tribes of Israel. 721 BC. The Assyrian king, he took us down, we fell. With a great escape, we went through the Euphrates. The Lord held the water still. To a land where no mankind dwelt, we went. The 12 tribes of Israel. The Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Simeon, the Dominicans, the Arabs and Africans told us at gunpoint. Together our wives and children sold us. Through the belly of these great ships we traveled in fear. By the rivers of Babylon we found our brothers here. Ahia, gather us. Oh, Ahia's gathering Israel. Oh, that's right. The Most High is gathering the children of Israel. That's right. Oh, oh, In Colombia, Reuben from Australia, Issachar, the Mexicans. That's who we be, we be. That's right. Got my trusty pen. The Cubans, Ephraim from Puerto Rico, Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Simeon, the Dominicans, Ahia's gathering Israel. That's right, brothers and sisters. The Most High is gathering Israel. I would like to say, Thawada Ahia Bahashim Yeshaya Rawchaa. Thank you to the Most High in Christ through the Holy Spirit that I'm able to appear before you this evening, brothers and sisters, this Wednesday in good health. It is all cleared up, but I'm going to tell you, they're spraying something in the sky. And as soon as there's sun, they're spraying, and next thing you know, the weather changes again, and it's messing everyone up. I'm hearing through emails all around the world that they are tainting us with germs. I'm not speaking of no normal cold. I'm talking about things that will stay with you for 2 weeks now. But all in all, we know what they're ramping up. But all the same, the children of Israel are churning through. We're marching through, and we're on our way to Zion. And you know what? No weapon formed against us will prosper. How are you doing, my brothers and sisters? We're here for a new broadcast. I have my brother on the line with me. That's right, Elder Lawya. How are you doing, Elder Lawya?
I'm doing wonderful, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm blessed by the best, and of course, his name is Ahia. I think I have a missed call here. Was that Elder Gabar? Let me see if I can bring in Elder Gabar too. I'm feeling so good. Let's make this an elders party. You know, hold up, where Gabar at? Don't mess around with me. Hit the like button. It's going to be a good show tonight. All right. Hit the like button as you come on in. You know the routine. All right. Boy, I'm excited. Well, Elder Gabar, I'm bringing him in too. Everyone and their cousin, come on up in here. Where you at, Elder Gabar? Where you at? Come on. I see you. Hold on. They got me ramped up. Manasseh, the Cubans, Ephraim
Shalom,
from Puerto
Elder. Can you hear
Rico.
me?
I can hear you. Naphtali from the Isles of Hawaii. The Lord is calling back Israel. Talk to me.
I know you're in a good mood today. That's a blessing. That's
man,
a blessing. I actually wanted to text you. I wanted to send you, I think I dialed the number by mistake, but I just wanted to just give you a quick reminder in regards of our project dealing with all the brothers and sisters from Africa.
Hey.
The GOCC Africa 144 Gmail has been set up.
Say it
So I
again.
want to just,
Say it again to the people. They hear. I'm live on the broadcast. I'm just letting it all hang. We just doing it tonight, right? Come on, tell them. GOCC
Okay.
Africa, what's going on?
So
Tell the
real
brothers and
quick,
sisters.
what we're trying to do is to have a kind of a conversation with brothers that are originally from Africa and sisters. They are members of the church, or if you have members or people that you know of that are watching us from Africa, we want them to send an email to GOCC Africa
GOCC Africa
144 at gmail.com.
at gmail.com. Say it again.
So that email is GOCC Africa
Okay.
144 at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. I'm glad you put that out there. I'm going to make sure I make more announcements. Let me write this down, okay? Say it again, Elder
Absolutely.
Gabar.
So it's GOCC Africa 144 at gmail.com.
Okay.
GOCC Africa 144 at gmail.com.
All right, thank you. We have a nice show tonight, and you know what? I'm going to put this out there for the brothers and sisters that are coming in. All right? Thank you, Elder Gabar.
Okay, bless you, Elder.
Bless you, my brother. Okay, for those who don't know, yes, we are about to do a serious ministry going out to all of our brothers and sisters in Africa. Okay, we're gonna set up some concerts throughout the United States, different parts of Europe, bringing forth the truth, proclaiming the truth, and we're gonna end up in Africa where we do revivals and bring Africans back to their true origin according to bloodline and according to prophecy. We're gonna let the brothers and sisters know in Africa that they are beyond any shadow of a doubt a part of the diaspora of the lost tribes of Israel, teaching that truth all the way throughout Africa. Right now, we have work all the way from Australia, South America. We have brothers and sisters following us actually in Africa. But now it's time to coordinate that work. Brothers and sisters who have been watching our videos throughout the earth, including Africa, brothers and sisters who are here in the United States or abroad, be it whether or not you in Europe, you have African ancestry, or brothers and sisters who are still living in Africa you're related to. Well, you're going to help us coordinate this so that the Gathering of Christ Church can have a serious presence in this time before engagement. The Western world is attempting, that's right, to regenify all of Africa. And we have to warn them. It's war. War is on the horizon there. And we, as the Most High, have given us the understanding of the gospel, the tenets and principles of the gospels. We must go there and warn our brothers and sisters of perils to come. So if you are a part of the church, you have relatives in Africa, West Africa, and different parts of Africa, of course, you can send an email to GOCCAfrica144 at gmail.com, and you can help us help our brothers and sisters in Africa with the gospel. Judah is rising. The lion will soon roar. Who are we? We're the Gathering of Christ Church, and we are doing the work on the ground with your help. Again, you have relatives in Africa and you are a part of the church, or if you are in Africa and have been following us,
send that email, goccafrica144@gmail.com, so we can coordinate together to spread the gospel in lieu of what's coming over the horizon. Okay, the devil. All right. Now, hey, hit that like button as you come in, right? I wanted to put this out there too for brothers and sisters, since we're talking about areas where spread the word. Right? There's this person, our brothers and sisters, in Australia who was a Christian the whole time, looking to infiltrate our church in Australia. Now, I'm going to tell you how crazy this is. This guy have attached videos of himself with the Gathering of Christ Church, knowing that he never believed the doctrine, so that he can drive people to his YouTube videos using our teachings in Australia. Even though we're setting up the church there, the brothers there are doing fine. There's one individual who is against the church, but like a serpent, is using our videos to circumvent others and loosely associating himself with the church. And we just want to warn brothers and sisters of this in case you've seen our videos on his YouTube page and believe he has something to do with us. He don't have enough integrity to just disassociate by not having our videos up there to show you the cunning wickedness that's in some of these people, okay? He don't even have enough respect. He don't even have a respect for himself, okay? I mean, he lacks such shame. He would rather use our videos so that he can be recognized. And then behind closed doors tell people, well, I don't really believe in them. I just use their videos to tell you, my gospel. Elder Lawya, do you know the name of that particular web page so our brothers and sisters can be warned concerning that?
Yes, I'm pulling it up right now.
And we've asked the brother kindly, okay, brother, do your business. Okay, if you believe you're dealing with the truth, go do your thing. Why are you using our videos to deceive people? Right? So the best way to do this is to blow a trumpet and let everyone know, so that if you fall on these videos, know that this guy have no association with us. Similar like that girl over in Jordan who want to use our videos to try to drive traffic and do what? And to totally deceive the unlearned and the easily impressionable. They're looking for weak links to heap souls to themselves and to destroy these people. So I have to put out that warning. I haven't said anything about this the whole time this character was operating. But again, we have people that are following in their videos, believing he has some association with us, okay? If it's not by our mouth, we're the elders of this church, don't believe the hype and believe these guys are a part of the Gathering of Christ Church. Elder Lawya, give it to me real quick before we go into this. Man, I'm ready to roll tonight. Talk to me.
Yes, sir. The name of the site is Absolute Bible Truth Ministries, Australia.
Check this out. Absolute Bible Truth Ministry, Australia. Using our videos. using association and the drive that we've put forth to try to heap souls to his false doctrine. See how the devil works? Now, if he had absolutely truth in his ministry, there would be no need to use the Gathering of Christ Church, right? So if you notice that that there was a change, obviously, from this particular brother's webpage, and we asked him, listen, brother, just go ahead go do your thing. If you notice, he's been using our videos to get traffic because no one would know him otherwise. Okay? So just be careful, beware of that. And if you've subscribed to that page, don't even send a comment to him. Unsubscribe. Okay? To that shameful soul. Okay? We're going to leave that there. Now. Right? All right. Elder Lawya, are you ready?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. Don't forget to hit that like button, because guess what? Of course, we tried to invite, there's a lot of black women turn into black Christians who were once black Christian sisters who are leaving the Christian church and are now going into Wicca, witchcraft, what they call Africanism, Yoruba, and all types of witchcraft and sorcery, right? So for the last couple of days, I've been trying to reach out. I was able to get on the phone with one of those young ladies who I thought would come on the show. But that's still, we're going to work in the background and see if we can get one of them on within a few weeks. Okay? Within a few weeks, we'll have one of them on. Okay? So we're going to revisit that broadcast of voodoo within our community and witchcraft, the conversion of choice today in Satan's world. We're going to have that part 2 coming up soon. But Elder Lawya, you may be happy to know that today I spoke with a brother that I've labored with in the early 90s, Rawchaa. Okay? Just let me just transition into the next part of what I'm talking about. Don't forget, we're going to have the witches on a few weeks, but I have a good show tonight. But anyway, I had a conversation with Karab, who's a part of the quote-unquote Injustice League. And, we reached out, we talked to each other. And this brother is one of the few brothers, one of the many brothers that I've known back then when it was Israeli School of UPK, changed to Israeli Church of UPK in the 90s going into 2000, who is now standing up against what's going on up in the Israeli Church of God and Jesus Christ concerning Tazadakia. So I spoke with him today, and I've been getting inundated through YouTube and other platforms with why haven't we spoke about this 2-page spread on Tazadakia, whom called himself the Comforter. So I spoke to Karab, and he said he'll come on next week, and he'll give his particular, him being a part of that particular organization for years, he'll give his insight on what happened there and whether or not what the news is reporting is true, right? So I'm going to leave it there. So we're going to go into it next week. We're going to break down the Taza doctrine, as he poignantly called it. And I'm going to let him have the floor and explain what actually happened there with the FBI coming through in New York and all those things. And being that he was there and he's on the inside, and now he's on the other side of the bench, quote unquote, actually putting out videos concerning trying to, an attempt to actually warn others of what's really going on up there in New York with the Israeli Church of God in Jesus Christ. So Karab will be on next week. And, of course, he had a few things to say, but I'm like, listen, brother, it's okay. He says he wanted to make sure everything was right. He get his mind together, because a lot of these things have been traumatic for brothers and sisters in some of these Israelite groups. So he's going to come on and he's going to give his insight and give us some information. So stay tuned next week. We're going to have one of the key members of the Injustice League live with the Gathering of Christ Church on our broadcast here on YouTube, as well as Blog Talk. Now, jumping right in. I believe this is going to be a deep show next week. And of course, we're going to probably go a little witch hunting in a few weeks to try to find out one of these witches, whether or not they want to come on and talk about what's really going on, why they casting spells on people. Do they know that they're dealing with witchcraft, and did they cast a spell to get them? All those things will be coming up in a few weeks. Okay. Now, Elder Lawya, I'm telling you, I'm so excited with the fact that I'm actually healthy. I praise I thank the Most High. There's nothing like being down and, and you're losing weight and, and you're coughing and you're praying to the Most High and saying, listen, I know I'm going to be well, Lord, but get me over this. They're spraying something in the air. You know what I mean? So I feel good right now. I feel good. All right.
All praises.
Start drinking a lot of water. Yeah. I'm highly motivated. Highly motivated. Praise the Most High. Our show this evening, I know you've been waiting for the topic, right? Our call-in number, 515-605-9365. 327. I'm Elder Rawchaa here of the Gathering of Christ Church here with Elder Lawya. We welcome you into the broadcast. Let's jump in. That's right. Let's jump in. Our discussion this evening. Our discussion, brothers and sisters. Check it out. Check it out. Topic of discussion: a slave's journey. It has always been, I feel, in Christians' authorities' interest to keep the slaves, mainly blacks, subservient. They wanted to keep us subservient forever, right? Some people call it white supremacy or racism or whatever the case is. But, you know, there's another name for it that I'm going to go into it later concerning why they're looking to keep blacks, poor people, subservient. And I'm speaking mainly the Christian authority. Now, they wanted to keep us subservient. Okay. By any means necessary, folks. By any means necessary. And that's including lying on the Most High God and his Bible. I know you're wondering where I'm going at here. Here's a question. How has the lies that they've perpetrated on us affected our faith in the Most High? I'm speaking of those who have served and are children of slaves. How have that affected our faith in God, being lied to about him and his word? And I need you all to keep in mind, brothers and sisters, and put this in its proper perspective. Stick with me here. In case none of us or none of you knew, America for the European powers was supposed to always be an extension. It was supposed to have always been an extension of Europe. I need you to put that in your minds and you know, frame that. America wasn't supposed to be a place for God's people or the poor. Okay, or the poor blacks in specific, or the poor black North American Indians, or the poor black people in South America. No. America was supposed to be initially an extension of white Europe. Right? But here's the problem, right? You can't build a system like this without slaves. Okay? Egypt became a great superpower off of the back of slaves. I mean, I think it's ironic that we're those same people. All in all, brothers and sisters, keep in mind that America has patterned itself off of ancient Egypt. It's actually ancient Egypt on steroids. How can we use God's people to build our kingdom on earth? So now, listen where I'm going at here, brothers and sisters. Check out where I'm going. Okay? Check out where I'm going. Will God's people, Israel, throughout the four corners of the earth, the poor people who've been colonized, so keep in mind that America was colonized for white people, and that every other person in America was supposed to stay the minority in contrast or in comparison to the majority America was made for. I need you to really focus on that. America wasn't made for black people or people of color to have equal power. And it's straight nonsense for anyone in their right mind to believe that the authority would ever give you what you call equality. It's nonsense. There's no such thing and will never be any such thing as equality. But I digress. I digress. The question is, in lieu of this, will God's people Israel, who so happen to be black, Hispanic, and the poor people suffering throughout the four corners of the earth by the Asians, like the Vietnamese, like the people in Cambodia, the Cambodians, all of these people, believe it or not, even those that in Japan, who are the remnants of the quote unquote samurais who were extinguished and destroyed, just like the North American Indians, they were extinguished in Japan, like with the same prototypical colonization that affected the Indians here in America. A lot of people don't know that they were called samurais because they were from Samaria. They were also part of the northern kingdoms. I'm going into more research and more studying of the 10 tribes of the diaspora and come to find out we're not just in America, folks. A lot of these black Asians who are suffering and who are actually working in these manufacturers, working slave labor in Asia and in China, they are in fact also part of the diaspora who are suffering under the hands of Asian oppressors. See, and that's why this gospel is so important. That this gospel must be taught throughout the four corners of the earth, and then the end shall come. But let me get back into the topic. Will God's people, who so happen to be blacks, Hispanics, and the poor who are suffering by the hands of their oppressors in any part of the earth, will they come back to the book, the Bible? I know you wonder where I'm going at here, right? We're going to call this particular broadcast A Slave's Journey. Now that the powers that be have insulated power and consolidated power and have separated the whole earth, okay, and have diverted the whole earth and demoralized all people, now the same authority that had us subservient in captivity are now coming clean and telling us the truth concerning their deceptive Christianity. Right? Here's a slave's journey. We as a people that have always been dejected, left out, needed the feeling of acceptance, right? And we thought that the Christian authority or the white Christian authority had our best interest at heart when they began to have us or allow us, black folk, to have church on Sunday. We believed that there were some good Christians, white Christians, who wanted us to accept Jesus. Right? But was that so? You know what? A video just fell on my lap not too long ago, and you need to check this out. And this is why I'm preferencing this particular topic this evening, A Slave's Journey. Right? Check this out. And keep in mind that the same people with the same agenda are in control over Christianity today. Yes, I'm talking about your Kenneth Copelands. I'm talking about your Joel Osteens. I'm talking about your Billy Grahams that, he's probably, on fire right now. You're going to find, brothers and sisters, what I'm about to show you is the new ideology that's being taught to keep us subservient or to not believe in the Bible altogether. A slave's journey back to the Bible. How can we get back to the Bible when they have done things to us like this in the name of God is the question. Check this out. I really need y'all to check this out, brothers and sisters. Stick with me here. Here we go. What's before us right now? You know what's before us? That's right. You got it. Slave Bible removed passages to instill obedience and uphold slavery. I need you all to check this out. A slave's journey. A slave's journey, brothers and sisters. Let me preference this again. I don't know if any of you have seen this. Right? Hold on, let me get it. I want to make sure I put it in frame so that you all can see this. Right? What does it say here? Slave Bible remove passages to instill obedience and uphold slavery. Listen to this, brothers and sisters. Tell me what you think.
Inside Washington's Museum of the Bible, a single volume that is like no other. The so-called Slave Bible, remarkable not for what's in it, but for what's not.
So about 90% of the Old Testament's been removed and about 50% of the New Testament's been removed. To put it another way, a normal King James Version has 1,189 chapters in it. The Slave Bible has only 232.
Missing are chapters and verses that might have encouraged uprisings. Book of Exodus, redacted. No story of Moses demanding Pharaoh, let my people go. Gone is Galatians, and the verse, there is neither bond nor free, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. And no Jeremiah. Woe unto him that useth his neighbor's service without wages.
What they've left in are verses such as Ephesians 6:5, which is the famous verse, slaves, be obedient to your master.
Looking at this Bible, it's hard to tell that anything's been taken out of it.
That's correct. I mean, it looks like a normal book. For many enslaved Africans, this would have been the first time they were exposed to the Bible.
A Bible selectively edited to instill obedience, using religion to underpin the horror of slavery. When people encounter this exhibit, what lasting impression do you want them to leave with?
But we want to pass the message on that may this never happen again. The Bible itself is a whole book. It's not one that you get to carve up and use this piece or that piece.
The Slave Bible designed to repress rebellion, but it didn't work. Enslaved people in the Caribbean constantly fought against slavery until emancipation.
I think it's very relevant to understand our history, not just American history, but our African American history, our roots and how we got to this point.
A dark chapter in the history of the good book. Jeff Bennett, NBC News, Washington.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on...
Boy, there's so much there, isn't it? Boy, there is so much there. So yes, I'm going to let you Negroes read. But I'm going to give you a slave Bible. I'm going to take out anything in the Bible that promotes freedom. And I'm going to teach that it's God's will for you to serve me. Right? A slave Bible. Now, mind you, this is how Christianity began in the Western world for us slaves. And you know what? Not much has changed. Because I believe once they instilled that ideology into the slaves, I know for sure that they didn't care whether or not that the rest of the Bible would be complete. They could give you more verses that were supposed to have been there afterward, after the slaves have been indoctrinated. A slave's journey. If they lied to us in our introduction to Christianity while slaves, it lends a greater question, brothers and sisters. It lends to a greater question. Have they ever told us the truth? And keep in mind, America was supposed to always be an extension of Rome. A slave's journey. I have so many angles to deal with concerning this. But I need your opinion on this first. The fact that they are actually admitting, brothers and sisters, that the original doctrine in Christianity was to have blacks feel subservient, always to their masters. And has anything changed? Elder Lawyer, give me your opinion on that before. Hey, we jumping in. Come on, Elder Lawyer, Slave's Journey. Give me your opinion on this.
Yes, sir. I think, as you mentioned, I mean, there's so many different angles with this, and I'm pretty sure with the few brief moments that I'll take, I won't be able to touch as much as 1% of the angles that we would like to touch on this. But one thing from just hearing the news report, and before even going into that, I think the first time I ever actually heard of this Bible's existence was actually last week. So this information is also fairly new to me concerning how the Bible was, well, I'm not going to say how the Bible was used, because really, if they only use a small percentage of the scriptures, they didn't really use the Bible.
Exactly.
They used a small selection, because the scriptures says, I come in the volume of the book. The book is a full volume of records of the Hebrew people, both Old and New Testament. So if they didn't use the volume, then they didn't really use the Bible. So that calls into question those who would like to say that the Bible was used to enslave us. Well, if they're only using small portions of the Bible and teaching a false doctrine on the Bible, on the portions that they used, then they didn't really use the full doctrine of the Bible to enslave us. Because obviously, if they had to take portions out of the Bible in order to teach the slaves, that means obviously there's something within the Bible that would spark revolution within the slaves to cause them to question their position as slaves.
You know what? You just hit the nail on the head. If the Bible, let me tell you, the Bible would chart a path to revolution, and they knew it. It would chart a path if slaves are working day and night for nothing, and then while learning to read, they began to realize there were some ancient people in in Egypt, forced to make bricks without straw. They would begin to relate themselves to those people and thereby do what? It would lead to revolution, freedom. But go ahead, Elder Lawyer. Go ahead.
No, sir. I mean, that's pretty much it for now. Just one more thing on the way they presented the article.
Okay.
And the way they presented the news presentation. I don't know, maybe I'm looking too much into it, but it seems like even with them admitting that they redacted a lot of information from that particular Bible, the way they presented it was still like, okay, the slave masters did this, but it's still the Bible's fault. Like, this is a dark history within the Bible, or a dark history within the pages of the Bible, as if the Bible told anyone to redact or to remove certain information from it. In fact, the Bible warns against adding or taking away from the records within the Bible. So that's one thing I noticed within the actual news report itself. But again, I mean, there's so many angles with this, but I'm going to hand it back over to you, Elder Rawchaa.
Well, since you're rolling, don't forget 515-605-9327 for those who've just come in. Please hit the like button. Brothers and sisters, guess what? They are admitting that the first Bible they gave to slaves here on the shores of America was a redacted Bible, or a Bible without certain records that would lead to revolution within the book. They only wanted slaves to hear about being good to your masters, being subservient, and that you get the kingdom of heaven by being a good old Negro, which is the original doctrine. But I have a question that we're going to dove in at the second half of this. Have anything changed in doctrine? Right? I'm going to go there in a moment. But Elder Lawyer, real quick, since I have you here, let me ask this. You would have the naysayers against the Bible use this as an excuse to say, well, that's why we don't deal with it. Obviously, the Bible's been tampered with, and here's another example of them giving us half-truths. So therefore, I'm not going to deal with the book altogether. Right? Now, Now, I have my answer to that, but how would you answer it?
Well, I would first ask them to go into the Bible and see what the Bible says concerning what was done to it by the slave masters who decided to remove certain portions from the Bible. And again, we have to question first, if they had to remove those portions from the Bible, what does that say about the Bible? If it was powerful enough, if the slave masters thought it was powerful enough to cause a revolution amongst the slaves to overthrow their masters, what power does it hold today? Does it hold that same exact power today?
A great answer, because we have everyone everywhere out there claiming, well, the Bible is tampered with. Here's another example of the white man tampering. Right? Now,
If I can read one scripture, though, before you continue on the so-called white man's tampering, let's see what the Bible says about that. Revelation chapter 22, verse 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life, and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book.
Oh, look at that. So they have condemned themselves, been caught red-handed going into the Bible to taint things for their personal interest and what you would call supremacy. Right? So they were wrong because the Bible warned them not to do so. Okay? Now, let me put this out there, folks. And I know some people would say, well, here you go with the race thing again. Okay? Here you always talking about race. Don't you know everything is predicated off of race, brothers and sisters? And it's only the simpletons, people that don't have enough sense to understand that it has always been about race. It's about race when Donald Trump stands up and says too many Mexicans coming over here who's illegal, when this land was their land before the conquerors came, before the colonizers came. It's about race. It's about making sure we control those illegals. Why? It may tilt the scales, and we as a people who made this country, who was given this country by Satan, may become the minority. It's all about race. And stop fooling yourself. Just because you look in another way and saying, well, it's not about race with me, common sense will tell you it was all about race. Okay? It was us picking peas and cotton. It was us building this economy that led to the world economy, which Wall Street controls today. It was us. Okay? That was race. It was us being lied to by our pastors, by our theologians, to only teach us a doctrine that would have us subservient and have them looked upon as our lords, as Jesus, as Moses, as the Israelites, as Jews. See, that's race. But the question is, brothers and sisters, and you brought this out, Elder Lawya, why would the white man go through such lengths to spoon feed us certain chapters and verses and purposely omit other key points out if the Bible wasn't the answer to all of our questions? If it didn't hold the key to freedom? It wasn't until I learned the truth about myself in the Bible, it wasn't until that point, brothers and sisters, that I stopped looking to the white man for freedom or equality or anything. It wasn't until I found myself in the Bible. At that point, I realized there was a greater power and authority than theirs. And that's what they were afraid of, folks. That we wouldn't need them for anything anymore and begin to want our own. And that's exactly where we as a people are at. I'm not looking to shuck and jive and ask for equality. I don't want equal rights. I don't want nothing. I want what the Bible promised to us if we were obedient to the Most High, not to them. And that's the kingdom. Not waiting for a kingdom somewhere. I'm talking about this earth, brothers and sisters, was promised to us. And it was lost due to the disobedience of our forefathers. And we want it all. Okay? We want it all. And guess what? We as a people, guess what? You don't receive this through physical altercation. A change must happen amongst us. But let's first focus here on them admitting. Let's first focus here, brothers and sisters. Let's first focus here on them admitting that they have been caught red-handed. Right? They've been caught red-handed, folks, saying that they purposely gave the slaves an incomplete book and taught a doctrine of servitude that the slaves would hand down to their children. And if you think that haven't affected us, the children of those slaves, you are sadly mistaken. Because the same doctrine that was pushed back then has destroyed the black church. It's where we are as a people. We are always subservient or looking for someone outside of God to solve our problems. Given the country or the land or the people that control the land more authority than God himself. Right? Slave Bible removed passages to instill obedience and uphold slavery. It didn't stop there. When we finally became what you would call educated Negroes, or you know what they say in North Philly, or you become edumacated. I'm just joking. When we finally became educated, right? They started to interject like, well, okay, well, the Bible, you know, we became educated and started looking at it and saying, well, okay, let's start teaching now that you must now obey the laws of God, not the laws on earth and the laws, taxes and all that. And I believe you should pay your taxes. So we became educated fools and started teaching, well, obedience to the slave master and to the government is the obedience to God. That is our obedience. I'm good. I have a good heart. I pay my taxes. I follow the laws of the land. Now, Elder Lawya, was this what I'm explaining right now? Was that taught in 1800 or 1700, or are they teaching that right now?
Yeah, sounds pretty similar to what we hear today.
Same thing. Same exact thing. For those who've just come in, brothers and sisters, the phone number is 515-605-9327. They've admitted that there was a slave Bible given to us in slavery, our foreparents, to instill obedience and to uphold slavery. They omitted certain books so that the slaves couldn't put two and two together and say, you know what? It's those people in the Bible plight and what they've always dealt with. What I'm reading here seems quite similar. The slaves would read and be like, well, hold up. I'm not teaching your doctrine. Let's teach this doctrine. Let my people go. They're like, no, we're not going to need the book of the Moses. We don't need the Moses stuff. Pick them peas, pick that cotton, shuck that corn, and you'll go to heaven. 515-605-9327. And I'm going to tell you, it don't stop there. Okay? We've gone into facts of how they purposely, folks, for years, pushed a white Jesus on us. Now imagine pushing a white Jesus in the 1800s with an incomplete Bible, with a Bible that the pastor or the black pastor can only teach to serve master. And believe it or not, you may disconnect all of that, folks, but that indoctrination is a direct result of what we're seeing in this earth today, the chaos and the destruction of our people. It's a direct result of that. Because what was attached to our freedom, brothers and sisters? Check it out, Elder Lawya. You know what was attached? When the Most High set us free, he gave the children of Israel in that Bible a law. See?
Mm-hmm.
See? They didn't want you to see that. With freedom comes what? Government. Outside of this wickedness. So if you start reading the children of Israel and start reading, let my people go, and we're being treated like second-class citizens, and they're killing the firstborn like they're doing here in America through abortion. You start reading that and you start relating yourselves, and then you're not going to stop there. You're going to now look into that God who freed the children of Israel out of the hands of Egypt and begin to understand his power, right? And then you're going to see our people walking in the wilderness, complaining the whole time, and know, you know what? That must be us. Oh, we might as well go back to Egypt. When I read that, I'm like, you know what? That can't be nobody else but black folk. The Most High just parted the Red Sea, folks. Destroyed Pharaoh's army. Right? Destroyed Pharaoh's army. And we complaining. The Most High made our shoes that wouldn't run down. Made sure our shoes wouldn't run down. Rained manna from heaven. Angels' food. And we started complaining. I'm like, you know what? That's us. And then on top of that, at the end of it, the Most High said, you know what? I don't want you to be like these heathens. Don't act like these Egyptians. They're wicked. They're sorcerers. Okay, they're heathens. They eat what they want. They don't have any sexual discipline. They're heathens. I'm going to give you a law, and this law will place you above all people. You are my people. You're the children of light. So they knew that us reading these particular chapters wasn't going to stop with captivity, of us relating ourselves to slaves. It would lead us to a place in which we would know that the Most High gave us laws to stay free. And on top of that, we will begin to learn the Bible and identify the enemies of us who have always kept us lawless and taught us lawlessness. Hold up now. See? Now, if you're teaching what I'm teaching right now, then not too many people are going to be shucking corn and picking cotton tomorrow. Your Sunday church is they're going to be empty now. Right? Right? I'm looking at they're going to look at the promises and say, hold up. I don't want a car. I don't want a house. That ain't no blessing. That ain't nothing. I don't want this. Listen, the earth belongs to the children of Israel. And we will not stop until we have it all. It was promised to our fathers, and they know it. So that's why they had to take it out of the Bible. Our obedience leads to freedom. And as we rise, the heathens, the Gentiles, fall. That's why they also taught in the Christian church, yeah, you keep on eating those chitlins. That bacon is good. I put a lot of salt on that bacon for you. Eat pig's butt, eat pig's stomach, pig nose, every part of the pig from the rooter to the tutor. I need you to make that a delicacy because unclean people eat unclean food. Oh, no, you don't got to worry about sexual immorality. You don't have to worry about that. You don't got to worry about keeping marriage sacred. That's a God thing. See? I know I'm digressing, but you know what? We on a roll here. A slave Bible removed passages to instill obedience and to uphold slavery. Now, you know what? It's to the degree now, brothers and sisters, that they don't even have to now. They don't even have to take passages out. When the last time you seen a preacher in our churches read the Bible? They don't have to take it out now. It's pure solely now. All of the Christendom right now is total indoctrination. It has nothing to do with common sense, logic, and the true purpose of the Bible anymore. I'm speaking of churches. Churches are all new age, and you have nothing more than just what you would call motivational speakers. That's it. There's no Bible in the church anymore, but I digress. 515-605-9327. Right? They're admitting now that the Christianity that was delivered to our people, the indoctrination, was the fact that we were always supposed to be subservient or slaves to them. Now, the Bible doesn't teach that, or they wouldn't have went through great length to take different chapters out. The Bible doesn't teach what they're pushing, what they're shoveling. Hey, here we go. I got a few announcements in a moment. 515-605-9327. Let me talk to a few of my brothers and sisters here. A slave's journey. Okay, let's start off with the 501 area code. 501 area code. Shalom, you're live with the you're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. This is Elder Rawchaa.
I was just listening.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on hold. Don't worry about it, brother. You should listen. I'm gonna put you on hold. Let's get the next one. 323 area code. If you'd like to call in, 515-605-9327. Right? And I know a lot of you come in this week in hopes of us actually interviewing the witches that were, on the, that we showed on the news program last week, but we're still trying to work to get them on. But next week, we're going to have a guest in the audience, in our program from the Injustice League, who's going to give us the inside understanding of what's going on with the Israelite group, the Israeli Church of God in Jesus Christ, and Tazadakia, who are charging poor black people 20% and calling that tithe. And what's really going on with that in respect of the 2-page spread that the Daily News put out in New York on him. So we're going to have that next week. We're pushing back the witches, and we're going to have a brother from the Injustice League, Rawchaa Karab, come on and give his insight on what's going on over there in Madison Avenue up there in Harlem with the Israeli Church of God in Jesus Christ. And that will be an interview, a live interview next week. So we're pushing the witches back a couple of weeks. And, they'll probably swoop in a couple of weeks afterwards. All right. 323 area code, bringing you right in. Okay. Now, if you're going to call in, make sure you hit the 1. You hit the number 1 if you have a question or comment. Don't hit the 1 if you don't. Okay. 323 area code, a slave's journey. Talk to me.
Hello, Rawchaa.
Shalom.
Actually, I'm actually excited that today's subject is about slavery and the tribes that's in America and how we're still enslaved today through jobs, through underfunded programs, and through the political system. It's funny that slavery ended, but they picked right back up with the police system and the vagrancy laws and the Jim Crow rules.
Okay.
It's still slavery today because those companies that benefited from slavery still have those same companies running today that now run off of the prison system, which basically pays inmates pennies on the dollar for their works and goods, for which they charge us goods and services for money that we work. And in turn, that money isn't even worth anything. The dollar is basically valueless. It's not backed by anything. So basically, we're just in a revolving cycle of debt. We're working for debt. We trade debt amongst each other when we give each other money, especially U.S. dollars. So I was hoping, people can go back to the gold and silver system, because the gold and silver belongs to the Most High. And guess who has all the gold and silver? England and the U.S. They have over 90% of it. And most of the stuff we trade amongst each other and buy today is not really gold. If you melt it down, it would be very worthless and wouldn't save you much in times to come.
That's a great point. But since you're on this, let me ask you a question real quick. Give me your name again, brother.
Baby Enoch.
Baby Enoch, a good name. Let me ask you a question, Baby Enoch, real quick. Now, why do you think that the so-called, quote unquote, white masters, why do you think the white masters in the 1800s took out certain passages? Now, we know that based on the news program, there's a lot of disturbance. Hold up, brother. I'm not. It's a two-part question. I know it was about being subservient, or to instill subservient in us, right? Being subservient to our masters, right?
Yes.
That was part of the doctrine. But my question in particular is, what are black pastors going to do with this information now that they know that the doctrine they're teaching actually comes from the doctrine of the 1800s? Now that black people know that the true agenda of the white powers was to always keep us subservient according to their Christian doctrine, how should black pastors take this information, and how should they respond now to it?
Truthfully, they should walk out of their churches where they know they exercise the right to spread the doctrine that the Most High hates, and they get paid for it through tax breaks and through grants from their seminary school and their theology degrees. So now that they have the information, they should be taking that out into the street and disseminate it as widely as possible to as many people and as fast as possible, because the average person usually only worries about money and what can it do? I need to eat. I need to feed my family. I need to clothe them. I need housing. If I don't have a certain amount of money, I look bad in front of these certain amounts of people. That's a wrong way of life. The Most High definitely wants us to be blessed and be able to purchase the things we need to purchase, but it's more we're supposed to use money as a defense and not as covenanted and solely chasing after it. It's all about the Benjamins. People don't even realize most of the people, all of the people that signed the Declaration of Independence were Freemasons.
I got you, brother. Okay, I got you, brother. We got it. Brother, we got to go to the next call. I have to digress on this one.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, my brother. All right, let's go to the next call, 404. So I'm starting to believe, brothers and sisters, now that I'm starting to look at this, the Christian authority, these people never believed in the Most High in Christ or the Bible. Their only interest was to make sure if that the Bible is taught, that they're in control and are viewed as the authority. It had nothing to do with God or Christ. The original doctrine that's taught as far as Christianity in America and the Western world. Their doctrine is a form of control. Like, we'll accept this doctrine as long as we are the people looked upon as the people. We'll teach this as long as you can relate to us as the authority over you black folk. But the minute you begin to realize that the Bible is really speaking about you and that these people could not have been white people, you know what? I'm going to go take yoga classes. Okay? I'm going to find Buddha when that happens. Next call, 404 area code. Yes, you're live.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, you're live with the Gathered of Christ Church.
Shalom. This is Brother Chalmers from the Atlanta body, and wow, the topic tonight is right on point, and the things that we battle with with this is, you know, it just brought to mind the Willie Lynch syndrome, because our problem is, you know, when we deal with other Israelites, it's trying to, you know, tear down the lies. They don't want to believe it. Oh, you believe in the white man's book, the Bible is tampered with, especially when, you know, dealing with the extra biblical text, you know, with them, especially with them taking out the Apocrypha. You wouldn't believe well, yes, you would, because, I mean, you've been through it before, you know, as far as the comments, the ostracizing, and everything that comes along with once you know, come to the knowledge of the truth. You know, and I was just explaining to a sister today, you know, how our system, our governmental system, is basically the Roman Empire 2.0. And she just like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm just like, sister, you can't see the emblem is the same thing, the same governmental system that, you know, Rome collapsed up under is the same system that we have here in America. But it's, you know, those are the things that we're up against, you know, with them taking certain scriptures out of the Bible and, you know, enslaving us with, it's like now they don't have to do it anymore, because now we have our own people, our own pastors, you know, who teach for hire, like in the Old Testament says, and that's why they tell us to stay out of the Old Testament. You know, don't go reading the Old Testament, especially in Jeremiah. They don't want us reading those things, because if we do, we'll find out, hey, wait a minute, you guys really been lying to us, and you guys are, you know, that's not what the scripture is really saying. But, you know, that's just that's just the nature of the beast that we're up against, you know, and it's frustrating at times, but, you know, just got to keep pushing forward and, you know, continue, you know, gathering our people and spreading this truth.
Brother, great points, and thank you, brother. I'm gonna see you in Atlanta soon, brother. But we're gonna be there soon. But thank you, brother. Great points, man. You know, and I'm gonna place you on hold. And real quick, you know how it is, brothers and sisters. You know how it is. You know, they'll come out and be like, well, okay, you know, yeah, you know, it's you know, I don't mind. You black folk don't need to look at that Old Testament, okay? And this is how disrespectful they are, and how ignorant they think our people are. They'll talk to you like a 4-year-old. It's bad stuff in the Old Testament, and our people go for this too. Only bad stuff, a lot of fighting and wars and all that. You just need the love of Jesus, the love I'm going to give you under my foot. Okay, that's the love. Okay. Now, even though this love that we're teaching you about, there's no example that can be shown throughout our whole history here. Okay. There's no love of Jesus that they've been talking about throughout our existence in slavery. But yet they'll say, just focus on the love of Jesus, this love under my foot. Okay. You Negroes don't need to be looking at the Old Testament. That law is bad stuff. You don't need no law. You need to kill. You need to murder. You need to continue to kill yourself. Okay. You need to commit adultery. Okay. You need to just run around like a thug, a no nonsense thug with no morality, because the law's done away with. Okay. Your disobedience mean what? My supremacy. And see, that's what our people don't understand. You're looking at the white man. When the white man has no power, but what our God gave him due to our disobedience, he have no power. And that's why they don't want you looking at the Old Testament, where his power is shown against government, against past societies who have always inflicted pain on us. See, that's why they took those passages out of the Bible. Just get the love of my heel on your chin. Okay, that's the love of Jesus there. Right? 917 area code. And then you Joel Osteen, he'd be like,
hello?
Hold up, Joel Osteen, listen, I can't judge. I can't say. Huh? Let me put you on hold real quick, because I'm doing my Joel Osteen. I'm doing my Joel Osteen impression. I can't judge. I mean, I'm just teaching people about hope and the love of God. Okay, I can't judge. He's a demon. When the last time you seen this guy read one passage out of the Bible? These people only have the authority that our people have yielded to them. They don't even teach the Bible. They never believe the Bible. The only thing they believe in is power. And if the Bible gives them that, they'll use it until the gig is up. Understand that. These people don't believe in the Bible. You think Joel Osteen believe in the Bible? Lord have mercy. Let me bring you back in, sister. Few announcements. 917 area code. Come on in. Bless you.
Hi, Shalom, Elder.
Shalom, how you doing?
So I have a question for, I'm good. This is Sister Rebecca. I just wanted to ask a question of advice. So let's say we're trying to, tell somebody that we know that the Bible is true, but they keep on telling us they don't believe in the Bible because it's been tampered with. And then also if they see the slavery Bible, they could use that as an example saying, see, this is one of the reasons why I don't want to even go into the Bible because this is proof that the Bible been messed with many times before. So what kind of advice can you give somebody that's trying to convince somebody in the world that the Bible is, true to what it says?
You know what? That's a good point. It depends on who you're speaking with, right? You can, first of all, the trick, Sister Rebecca, and shalom to you. All right. Well, I would say, see, here's the objective is to do what? The objective, Sister Rebecca, is to get them in the book. Right? That's the objective, because believe it or not, and here's the truth. If you could see what's happening on the outside of us, not wrestling, we're wrestling with we're not wrestling with flesh and blood, but principalities and powers, right? So the whole objective was to get them from not seeing the book, because that is the action that actually breaks the spell. Right? Mm-hmm. So the devil, the Satan, his whole work is to deter you from seeing the truth for yourself. So I understand, me being a teacher, my objective is to get that person in the book. So how do I do it? Of course, you have to understand that Christ told the disciples, I will make you fishers of men. Fishers have much bait, right? So you have to understand, this is what I do when I deal with people like that, because the problem I have with people is pushing their thoughts on me, right? Like in the world, that's something that they teach us, that, okay, you're not going to control me, right? Automatically, I'm an individual in the world. You're not going to control me. So here's the deal. We become what you would call, we try to proselytize and force people to see things our way. So the first thing I'll do, sister, is ask the person, okay, if the Bible is not the way, what's the way? What do you believe in? What is your thought process, right? What have led you to where you are, not believing in the Bible? Get to know the person you're dealing with so that you can actually condescend to their level and talk to them on their level and find out why they don't believe. See, we so busy trying to push what we're saying that we don't understand the tenets of Christ. Christ was able to operate amongst the sinners, the publicans, and others because he wasn't just pushing things all the time. He understood what they were going through and was dealing with them on that level. Right? Like, here's an example. Here's an example, sister. So I ask a person, well, what are you dealing with then? Right? They're like, well, the Bible is tampered with. I'm like, well, okay, if the Bible's tampered with, right? And this always works, Sister Rebecca, on the streets, right? The Bible's tampered with. You know what I do? I grab a Bible and I give them the Bible. And I said, you know what? The Bible's tampered with. Show me one thing that's tampered with. Anything. And I'll be on your side. Now, how does this work, Sister Rebecca? You know why it works? I'm not pushing nothing on them. I'm agreeing with them to some degree because now I'm yielding my sword to them. But then a realization happens. They'll realize they didn't even read the Bible, and they have come to someone else's conclusion. And an honorable person will look at that and say, you know what? I'm not in position to say the Bible is tampered with because I haven't actually read it. See, I'm not pushing nothing on them. I'm giving them the book and say, well, good. I want to see. Listen, let me see what you're seeing. Show me where it was tampered. And I give them the book. And they usually go through it. And, you know, and they'll be like, well, since you're in it, go to Deuteronomy 28 real quick. Go to Deuteronomy 28 real quick, since you're in it. So I done gave them my sword now. And guess what they doing? They cutting themselves with it. You got the book now. You asked for it, right? I wanted to see where it was tampered with. I'm not pushing nothing on you. But since you're there, let's go to Deuteronomy 28, because if I was going to tamper with a book, being a white person, a white supremacist, or someone looking to keep perpetual authority over you, I would have definitely took out Deuteronomy 28. If I was going to tamper, because Deuteronomy 28 tells us that a curse for disobedience is going into slave ships. If I'm going to tamper with a book, I'm definitely going to make Christ a white man instead of a black man in Revelations, the 1st chapter. He's going to be white. Okay, he's going to look just like that picture of Cesar Borgia if I tampered with it. See? So the key point about this, sister, is to get them in the book. Our problem is we begin to run people off because we think what worked for us works for everyone else. When Christ never operated like that, he found out what people were concerned about and dealt with them on their level. Some people are going to come to the truth strictly by being healed. They're not even going to read the Bible. They're going to see the power of the Most High and know it's true. So the whole thing, sister, is to be like the Most High is. Okay? When I say be like the Most High sent Christ, and he sent Christ to serve our people. And you must be in that posture and ready when it's time. Right? So we have an organization where a lot of you young, brothers and sisters of the body will be going into colleges, right? With majority of them not believing in the Bible, believing it's tampered with, right? Right? And that's why you're asking me, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
so this is what you do, right? This is what you do, sister. You stand up first, and before you start bringing forth any information, you stand up and say, you know what? There's a lot of questions on this book. And you know what? There's a lot of people claiming, whether they be this, that, or the other, Muslim, whatever that is, they're claiming that the Bible is tampered with. You know what? I'm going to open discussion with the Bible, and I'm going to move to the side, and I want anyone out there in the audience to come before us and show us what was tampered with in the Bible. I'm going to yield my podium, my position for you to show us, because maybe the lie have actually perpetrated itself on our people, and thereby doing so have disconnected us from the only answer for our people. Maybe, but I'm open to hear first, before I break down anything, what's tampered with within the Bible itself. Start off with that, sister, because automatically that will begin the dialogue, and you'll find individually what each person thinks. See?
Yeah, because most of the time it's not really like that they actually seen something in the Bible that's like tampered with. Is mostly like what schools tell us, or like what they just heard from like the neighborhood. Like, yeah, that Bible, it's been translated into different languages. It's been translated this way, that way. So we shouldn't even go into it because, it's probably not even saying the right thing anyway. So that's most of the thing. Like when I speak to people in my school and stuff like about the Bible, this and that, they're like, yeah, but hasn't it been messed around with? So why should we read it anyway? So yeah.
Okay. So since you're on the phone, since you're on the phone, let me hit you with a few precepts real quick. Right?
Okay.
Right? And I know you know these, but sometimes you need the milk for the sake of introduction, right? Especially with an unbeliever, right? So I go directly to Isaiah 34 and 16. This is what I do with new people, right? I go straight to Isaiah 34 and 16, right? And I read, let me read it here. Isaiah 34 and 16 reads, "Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read." No one is in position, sister, to say something is tampered with that they haven't read. Right? Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. And read. Right? Why? No one of these shall fail, and none shall want her mate. Hold up now. Someone show me out there one prophecy of the Bible that has failed. Even Muslims are quoting prophecies from the Bible. You don't hear Farrakhan talking about, well, the Quran said this would happen. Okay? So that's what makes the Bible what it is. And that's why it have, believe it or not, stood the test of time. Because it's the only spiritual book one can go to concerning true prophecy that have never failed. Not one of these shall fail, and none shall want her mate. The Most High told us, bringing it back around full circle, that if we disobeyed his commandments, he would have us serve the other nations, and that we would be put under their foot and serve them like we did in Egypt. Has that not happened? See, I bring that around full circle. The Most High said we would be under the white man, that he would send a nation with fierce continents against us as quick as the eagle flieth. The Most High foreseen the eagle, which is Rome, or the emblem that would one day become America or Edom. The Most High foreseen and told Moses that the Edomites would enslave us. Oh, see, you understand? So when you go to these, none shall fail, none shall want her mate. And then you go after that, a precept, Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. Let me read it. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. And you read it, and it states, "And further by these, my son, be admonished of making of many books. There is no end. And much study is a weariness of the flesh." In the college, you can talk to your college buddies or your brothers and sisters there and say, listen, this place is filled with books. Filled with books. But it's a weariness of the flesh. Why? Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Out of all the books you have in this university, not one book in here, can show you your purpose as an individual in line, can show one people united, okay, under their own law, statutes, and commandments after being saved out of captivity. So not only is this book great when it comes to laws, it unites us as a people for a common cause. See, these are the things you have to show. As a matter of fact, we're going to have some discussions outside of that before y'all go in. Because believe it or not, when you go into these colleges, you're going to get bombarded. Every Satanist from West Hell is going to come against you. And you know who's going to be your biggest opposition in those colleges? The LBGT movement. But we're ready.
I think the school that I'm going to is going to be big on that.
Oh my goodness! Guess what? They're gonna come out. They're gonna come in there. You know, they're gonna have rainbow neck bands on, ready. Okay, but don't worry about it. Okay, they're gonna have chains on. You name it. But we're gonna be ready, sister. But let me digress. Let me get to the next call. All right.
All right. Thank you, Elder. Shalom.
Shalom. Oh yeah. Okay. All right, got you. So, great question. Elder Lawya, you want to say anything on that? I know you have a few a few answers for that since you're on with us.
Absolutely. Just one more thing. In regards to someone who would ask that question in reference to the slave Bible, first and foremost, you would, as you mentioned, ask them, even though that is a tampered form of the Bible, them taking chapters out, but you would ask them, okay, what was taken out of the slave's Bible? And then the question is, secondly, why? And then I would go into a regular KJV Bible and go into some of the information, like the Exodus, that was taken out, and show them why it was necessary to take that particular chapter out, and show the correlations between the story of Exodus and the story of the captivity that we served here in America, for someone who would try to use the slave Bible as an excuse not to believe in the Bible.
Great point, Elder Lawya. And of course, our lesson today, or our program today, is speaking about a slave's journey. For those who've just come in who missed the video, let me show y'all the video again in respect of, one moment. In respect of those who came in late.
Inside Washington's Bible, a single volume that is like no other. The so-called Slave Bible. Remarkable not for what's in it, but for what's not.
So about 90% of the Old Testament's been removed, and about 50% of the New Testament's been removed. To put it another way, a normal King James Version has 1,189 chapters in it. The Slave Bible has only 232.
Missing are chapters and verses that might have encouraged uprisings. Book of Exodus, redacted. No story.
So they omitted chapters out of the original slave Bible they gave us here in America. To do what? To stop us from thinking of revolt or uprising. Listen to this.
Uprisings. Book of Exodus, redacted. No story of Moses demanding Pharaoh, let my people go. Gone is Galatians, and the verse, there is neither bond nor free, for ye are all one in Christ Jesus. And no Jeremiah. Well,
so there's neither bond nor free. You Negroes ain't equal with us. They took that out. No, there is a bond. There is bond. You see those chains on you? Go pick that cotton. Jesus wants you to.
And to him that useth his neighbor's service without wages.
What they've left in are verses such as Ephesians 6:5, which is the famous verse, slaves, be obedient to your master.
Looking at this Bible, it's hard to tell that anything's been taken out of it.
That's correct. I mean, it looks like a normal book. For many enslaved Africans, this would have been the first time they were exposed to the Bible.
A Bible selectively edited to instill obedience, using religion to underpin the horror of slavery. When people encounter this exhibit, what lasting impression do you want them to leave with?
Well, we want to pass the message on that may this never happen again. The Bible itself is a whole book.
You know what he's looking at? You know what he's saying right now? Yeah, it doesn't make a difference now, and I'm Buddhist. Okay, you're no longer on the plantations. You just fill out an application. Okay, we've advanced slavery. Okay, all right. I'm a Buddhist now, so it doesn't matter. Christ is the black man, but who cares? We've enslaved you.
It's not one that you get to carve up and use this piece or that piece.
The Slave Bible designed to repress rebellion, but it didn't work. Enslaved people in the Caribbean constantly fought against slavery until emancipation.
I think it's very relevant to understand our history, not just American history, but our African American history, our roots. And
look who they get, and I'm glad the sister's breaking something down, talking about African history or whatever. But where's the black pastor at? Where is he? They don't even have enough respect to go into the neighborhood and interview a black pastor, or they may be afraid of what he might say. He starts shucking and jiving and be like, well, no, we trying to show that we're trying to show that you've advanced since then. We're trying to show that this really didn't have an effect on you. They go in the neighborhood and interview a black pastor. He gonna start moonwalking.
And how we got to this point.
A dark chapter in the history of the good book. Jeff Bennett, NBC News, Washington.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks.
Yeah. Anyway, just putting it out there. Here it is, a slave's journey. Christianity started out, brothers and sisters, in America for us with a book that told us, that pointed out that you should only serve your master. Okay? Now, of course, after getting indoctrinated, after going through years and generations of indoctrination, there was no need for them to hide the other passages. Why? Now our pastors under the theologian colleges are teaching the same exact doctrine, even though the passages of the Bible are actually there in the Bible. They no longer look at the passages. They're still teaching from the same verses of the redacted Bible, folks. And our pastors are going for it. They continue to go for it. And that's why our people are leaving the churches in droves. That's why. Don't try to blame it on, well, the Israelites and there's other people, there's a threat to the... No. We want our whole Bible. Number one, we are the people. And you know what? We as a people, according to prophecy, want it all. Okay? No longer are you going to teach us a doctrine just to get along and be good slaves. Okay? No longer. Y'all see that, folks? It tripped me out. These guys laughing, talking about, I have to make sure this never happens again. What you mean? No one even read the Bible anymore. So who cares? The job has been complete. No one reads the Bible anymore. Are we going to make sure this never happens again? It's complete. When the last time our pastors read a Bible? 404 area code, talk to me. A slave's journey.
Oh, Shalom, Elder. You already got to me.
Okay, thank you, my brother. Let me go to the next call here. We have 347 area code, and then guess what? I have a few announcements.
Shalom, Elder. It's a great day in prophecy, talking about the earth helping the woman. The first thing I thought of was two things. We clearly know Christ was sent to proclaim liberty to the captives, bind up the brokenhearted. And the first thing I thought about was Nat Turner, because I'm like, that is a clear example of what a slave did when he learned the truth concerning the Bible. Talking about how the Most High would allow the Israelites to destroy Amalek. And the first thing I'm thinking about is our ancestors, the slaves, they learned the new Christ. Because had they would have learned Christ, it reminded me of when they were saying in the New Testament, being that they took 50% out of the slave Bible, when the Pharisees was like they would take our place and our nation. So clearly our enemies understood that the true power of Christ replaces the authority, taking out Moses, promoting Joseph as a slave as you continue to read it. And I was like, man, all praises to the Most High that this is coming about. But I just had two more comments. When you were talking to Sister Rebecca about the LGBT, man, it's unbelievable. I never thought I would see this, but in my college, the homosexuals now have their own section in graduation, and it's like their own ceremony. But that's besides the point. I just wanted to say that. But my question before I yield is, when I first saw this, I thought it was too good to be true. So I was like, no way. If this is true, then everybody got to put the Bible back on the table. There's no more it's the white man's book. There's no more it's tampered. There's no more. But what I didn't know how to do, Elder, was we now have an obligation to use this as a point to fish, to become fishers of men. And when I found this out, we had a street preaching across the church of CCC on Sunday, Easter Sunday. We went out there in New York, but I didn't know how to use it as a teaching point. So my question to you, Elder, we've seen you on the streets many years. How would you use this as a teaching point if you was on the streets?
How would I use this as a teaching point if they came and claimed that the white man took passages out of the Bible? I would use it,
and also to gather people.
This is how you do it, though. You would use it and talk about it and say, well, okay, what didn't they want us to understand or know? What is it that they knew that they were afraid the slaves would find out. I have that information. Listen, I got that information right here today. Why did they give you a redacted Bible? Why did they purposely, what did they know about those passages that would free the slaves? That's the information I'm dropping right now. And are you ready? Number one is you should inquire, or you should be curious what's in the Bible if the white man would go through great lengths to try to claim to be the people of it and take things out of it. I never heard the white man ain't ruling nothing with a Quran. Okay? He don't have to take nothing out of the Quran. Why? Because the power always lied in the book, and they knew it. They knew it. There's no white guy anywhere that's trying to be Muhammad, that's putting up himself and saying, paint me an image so I can tell everybody know that I was Muhammad. Okay? So you would use it in reverse, right? Yes, they took things out of the book because they knew something. They knew something, right? That they were afraid, our forefathers that was on the plantation, they was afraid our forefather was going to find out that they were the people of the book. And they had no business serving another nation if the Most High freed us from Egypt. If we're the people that were freed from Egypt, we were meant to be free. That idea of freedom scares them. Because our lowliness, our poverty is what they measure their success by. Understand that. The other nations measure their success by our poverty. The thought of freedom scares them. Don't get me started. See, and that's why when I found the truth of who I was, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna tell you, no longer. That was at the point where I'm like, you know what? What am I thinking about white people for? Or how powerful the white man is? My God took down Egypt. Every prophecy that he said would happen, happened. And guess what? The Most High prophesied what would happen to this land and what would happen for us after the fall of this land. What am I focusing on white people and white supremacy? Why am I giving them my power? Why am I making them feel more important than they should be? I'm going to seek the God who made me and the white man. He'll deal with that guy. And that's our problem. Okay, and that's our problem. That's why they want us out of the book, because it takes all authority from them. They're power hungry. Because why? It tells us in the book, it tells us in Wisdom of Solomon that they understand that this is all they'll get. This is it. This is their kingdom. They understand that. Do you understand? And they can only yield that power with slaves under them. So that's why they took it out of the book. So I'll tell the people in the street, I'm like, yeah, they took it out of the Bible because why? There was information in it that they didn't want our slave masters to know, that threatened their authority. Would you like to hear it? Would you like to hear it? And now we can teach on their curiosity. We can fill in the voids. Thank you, brother. All right.
Last thing I would just say real quick.
Come on.
Last thing I just would like to say, I really think it would be a different world had the slaves read Peter saying, we ought to obey God rather than men. And real quick, they set up jails, they set up hospitals to cure sicknesses. They set up jails to stop crime, when yet Christ himself did it. We have people in our church who was ex-convicts. We have people in our church who've been healed from depression. But I'm going to go on and on. But I'm going to yield to my elders. Great show. All praises to the Most High. Bless you, elders. Elder Rawchaa, Elder Lawya, Elder Rawchaa, and all of the elders that's just not present at this current time. Bless you all. The water for all things. Shalom.
Shalom. And I'm going to tell you why they actually bringing these pieces out now. And you can speak on this, Elder Lawya, before I do the announcements, right? They're also bringing out these pieces because they can no longer control the narrative. Now that the Most High has awakened us, and we don't need their theologian schools and all that other crap, their schools of programming. Now they're trying to change the narrative where they listen, I'm willing to show y'all something that benefits you, so that now they can come with a new form of control. Okay? As long as you're listening to them as the authority of anything, it yields power to them. So that's why they come in with it now. Oh yeah, you know that y'all once did. Listen, if you didn't come with this information in the 1800s, I don't want to hear it now. It will never happen again. No, it won't, because wow, I'm not listening to your behind anymore. Okay, so they're only doing this to pander to the black people who are still in the Christian church, to make us believe, therefore our turn. That's the only reason they have this out there now, saying, listen, we know what they did, and that was wrong what they did to your folk. But yes, we still going to, and we still going to teach that doctrine. Okay? Stay a slave. You're just an educated one. Don't ever look for any power beyond, what I've given to you. Okay? And you know the description is on your application. All right, let's go. Elder Lawya, anything you have to say real quick?
Yes, sir. Just one thing I wanted to read.
Come on.
From 2nd Ezra chapter 11, verse 39.
Come on.
Dealing with that question as far as them, now bringing out, a lot of information at this particular point. And as you stated, it's for a purpose. Okay? If you're not going to admit who these people are that were enslaved, and why they took the information out of the Bible because it related to the people who were enslaved.
Yeah.
Then, like you said, we don't want to hear it. Okay?
Exactly.
I'm going to read this. I want to read this real quick in 2nd Ezra 11, chapter 11, verse number 39 through 40.
Yeah.
It says, "Art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? And the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression, and so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit." So the whole time this empire, which is an extension of the Roman Empire, reigned over the earth, they reigned with deceit, deception. And the deception is continuing. Even with the information they're bringing out now, it's still with a deceptive spin. It's still with a deceptive purpose. So we must always be mindful of that. But at the same time, all things work good, as the Christian would say.
Okay, you went out a little bit, Elder Lawya.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I was saying, as a Christian would say, all things work for the good of those who serve the Most High. So they're putting it out for their purpose, but we who seek the Most High, who are trying our best to serve the Most High, we're going to use this information as fishermen to fish out our people and just use it as a teaching tool. So it's all going to work for the better good of us anyway.
Exactly. And brother, what we're going to do is I make a few announcements, but before I do that, I want to say thank you for you brothers and sisters who have always supported the Gathering of Christ Church. As you come in, make sure you hit the like button. Okay, for those who've just come in and thought that we were probably dealing with the black Christians, the women who are turning into witchcraft, which is showing another level of failure in our churches, where our sisters have no outlet but to turn into witches now, that we're still working in the background to have a few of them on our broadcast in a few weeks, to find out why are black women leaving the Christian churches and joining witches and covens and dealing with sorcery and what they hide it by calling it black African spirituality. Nah, we need to find out what gods you serve. What demons have you summoned? Have you ever did anything wicked with your craft? And do you know that hell is waiting after this life? I'm going to go into some specifics for these witches in a few weeks, but we're going to push that back because next week we're going to have on a brother, Rawchaa, who's going to come in and give us his insight on the Israeli Church of God in Jesus Christ, who is now in the news based on what's going on with some federal charges, which I guess he admitted to Tazadakia, and how did he rise to a point where he was calling himself the comforter? How did he turn a 10% scripture into 20%? What's really going on there? And it is what they're reporting in the news, in the daily news, is it actually true? Well, we're going to find out next week. We're going to have Brother Rawchaa come on as a guest, as him being one of many of the brothers who was back there in the churches when I was back there, they called themselves, or they were called, the Injustice League. Well, one of the key members of that will be on our broadcast, and we'll do that interview next week, okay? I have a few announcements to make. The broadcast is not over. We still have a good hour. You can call in 215. Oh, no. What's the phone number here? Give it to me, Elder Lawya. 515-605-9327. 515-605-9327. Call in. Our topic of discussion this evening is a slave's journey. And maybe you can point out other areas of how the nations that be have gone through great lengths to keep us in the dark, right? So that they can now continue to assume power over us. And I'm going to also come back and show you it was prophesied that they would do so. It was prophesied that once they get on top, they would do everything to keep us disconnected from the Bible. I'm going to drop that in a moment. But let's do our announcements. Hold tight. That's right.
Are you seeking to strengthen your biblical foundation? Join us in the Hebrew Bible Academy, where we offer 12 weeks of in-depth learning in a structured environment. Receive real-time news from Brother Rawchaa and amazing lessons by Elder Rawchaa. Learn ancient Hebrew with Elder Lawya. With 12 amazing lessons, you are guaranteed to learn more about your true biblical history and authentic Hebrew language than you would in a traditional Christian church. For only a one-time payment of $150 or 3 monthly payments of $50. Join us at historytimes.org and sign up today. It's not too late. See you in the academy.
That's right. See you in the academy, brothers and sisters. And as you all know, yes, we have a Hebrew and Bible Academy where we break down the Bible. Okay? We break it down. Let me tell you, you'll learn way more in one lesson within the Gathering of Christ Church. One lesson of our Hebrew and Bible Academy. One lesson you'll learn more than you have done all the time of your life in a Christian church or any other religious institution when it comes to learning our book, your book. We break it down. When it comes to breaking down the mindset or the theology or the deception that came with them teaching the Babylonian virgin birth, we broke that down last week and showed history along with the Bible that was introduced to the Nicene Creed concerning Christ's birth, that the Christian church purposely kept from the masses. We broke that down. I'm going to tell you. And we have new lessons coming for the Hebrew and Bible Academy. We have new lessons coming. It's 8 weeks. Elder Lawya going to Hebrew 101. Shabbat comes in with the news. We warn people of the destructive pharmaceutical agendas against us, the social engineering with our news, and how we can actually look at them implementing not only a prison complex, but as well as that, they're also implementing a mark of the beast system that will soon be rolled out publicly. All this is broken down in our Hebrew and Bible Academy. And of course, we send you the lessons. We have an administration working around the clock so that when you send in your invite, when you send in the payment, it's only $50 per month. You get three months of serious lessons for only $50 a month. It helps us get to other areas, spread the gospel, set up churches in an attempt to set our people free. Because what we've learned, guess what? We cannot trust any other nation to tell us the truth. Okay? We can't trust the Christian authority to give us the truth. We can't trust Muslims and other nations because it's in their interest to keep us underfoot. So your support helps us set free our people. Okay? So if you want to be a part of the academy and be a part of this work by doing so, send an email to gatheringas1@AOL.com, or you can go to gatheringofchrist.org. There's a tab for enrollment there, or go to historytimes.org and be a part of this work. Okay? The Hebrew and Bible Academy is the one if you want to learn this book, okay, and learn the true doctrine according to how it was presented by Christ to his disciples. That's what we teach, the core principles. And guess what our lesson coming up this week is? You got it, this Sunday. Israelites doctrine. Starting with the core principles Christ laid for the disciples, brothers and sisters. We're going to find out what most Hebrews out there, most Israelites out there are concealing when it comes to their doctrine. They're only presenting the information that all of us would accept. Slavery. We went to captivity. Keep the law. But is there parts of their doctrine they are concealing and only keep amongst themselves, knowing that if they expose it or reveal it, most people would run? Well, guess what? We're going into every group's doctrine, nothing personal on anyone. What are their tenets and doctrine according to the principles of Christ? And we're going to pull out the information they have been concealing, and that they would only tell people who come into the church privately after being there a long time, after being indoctrinated. That will be this Sunday, Israelite doctrine. Okay, you don't want to miss that. What do you have to say on that, Elder Lawya? It's coming this Sunday.
Oh, yes. We're actually in the midst of, putting together some extra information. Of course,
you're muffled right now, Elder Lawya.
Okay, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
Is this better?
That's better. Go on.
Yes, sir. Yes, we're actually in the information behind the scenes, or actually in the process behind the scenes of, adding some additional information to the lesson that we already have. For those who have been in past academies dealing with this topic, many of you know the information that you've received thus far, but we're actually adding to that information and going more in depth, as Elder Rawchaa just mentioned, dealing with a lot of the different doctrines and tenets that you may find out there on YouTube, or that you may find as a member of these different organizations. So, all of that and more will be discussed this coming Sunday in the Hebrew and Bible Academy. So if you're not a part of it already, send an email to gatheringas1@AOL.com, or you can apply through our website, gatheringofchrist.org. We have a page on there where you can apply directly for the academy.
And I wanted to put this out there real quick. The reason why we have to put these things out here, because Christ warned us of this. He warned us about beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and scribes. See, if you understand what the key doctrine of Christ is, outside of what the white man did and the fact that we came over in slave ships and we're the Israelites, if you're not careful and if you don't know what the core principles are, you'll be deceived. And these are the things that lead people into believing men who are born on the same soil you were born on, who are children of slaves, you will begin to believe that they are comforters or they are something higher than they ought to think themselves to be. If you don't understand what the core principles are, you'll fall for the delusions. You'll start to believe that, yeah, that man could have been Moses, or that man could have been David. See what I'm saying? Because even though you learn you're an Israelite, you're lacking other areas concerning Christ's principles and what to look out for. You'll begin to believe in reincarnation, and people teach reincarnation so that they can present themselves as someone great that you should serve. No, I'm not serving a white man in captivity and a Negro too. Okay, I'm free. I'm free from them, And I'm not going to let my own people put me in captivity. And that's what a lot of these Israelites have been doing. You're not free to serve the living God. You begin to serve man. Okay? And it's wrong. Christ says the greatest among you shall be a servant. The greatest among you. So just because you give me understanding and knowledge, that means I must acknowledge you as a God now? Okay? So being that I've gone through a lot of those things, that's definitely not going to happen as far as I'm concerned. We're going to deal with the principles of Christ, the principles of the doctrine, and no one is going to be carried around on sticks around here. We're here to serve the Most High, and when our King comes, he'll give the rule. He'll give the positions. So guess what? All of these things will be discussed this Sunday. Israelite doctrines. We're going to pull every Israelite up and say, this is what they teach straight out. I'm not going into their personal business. Here's the doctrine. This is what they teach. This is what the Bible say concerning it, period. This Sunday. Right? Speaking of slave's journey, hold tight. Speaking of slave's journey, the Most High have fulfilled his promise to us. He said that in the same land that it was said, ye are not my people, and that self same land it shall be told to you that ye are the sons of the living God. Right? Speaking of a slave's journey, let me see if I can find that song. A slave's journey. 1 second. See if I can find a song, play something for y'all real quick, because I have another announcement, of course. A slave's journey. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Hold tight. Ooh. That's right.
Living in a strange land where we don't belong.
Where we don't belong.
Subjugated to sin, they required a song.
They required a song. What did they do?
They came to our shores and took us away.
They took us away.
Once kings and queens, relegated to slaves. Oh, bring me home. Over the waters.
Be right back.
I hear her calling for me. She's calling, exiled in Babylon, all alone.
Exiled in Babylon, listen.
It's coming to me, I'm remembering. It's in Deuteronomy. I'm praying to God, come set us free. Set us free. The nation's program that brings the other way. We were lost in the shame. Living confused with no hope. Walk around with my head hanging low. Spirit was crying for change. Then you revealed your name. From the sides of the north, a strong wind carried me. I seen a vision of this beautiful land. There was no sea. In the midst of the wind, I heard the angels sing. Welcome back home. Welcome Zion. Welcome home, Zion. By the rivers of Babylon, there we sat down. Yeah, we wept when we remembered Zion. We hanged our harps upon the willows in the midst thereof. For there, they that carried us away captive required of us a song. And they that wasted us required mirth, saying, sing us one of the songs of Zion. I hear her calling for me. I hear her
I hear her calling for me. She's calling. Exiled in Babylon, all alone. David, I'm home. That's right, a slave's journey, brothers and sisters. A slave's journey. One more real quick. Real quick. Brotherly love. We've been through so much pain. Life took us separate ways. Both did some hurtful things, but it's not over. You know that we both care. So can we forgive and forget? I need you here. Remember the ups and downs, the trials we've been through. See, there is no one on this earth who can replace you, my brother. Life is too short, don't hold no grudges. You are my love. We must forgive and love each other. No matter what life throws at us, we must keep brotherly love. Searched high and low, where did you go? Pick up your phone. Oh brother, do you hear me calling? See, I apologize. Brotherly love. This bond will never die. Remember the ups and downs and trials we've been through. So I'll keep on telling. I go till I get through to you, brother. Life is too short, don't hold no grudges. You was my blood. We must forgive and love each other. No matter what life it throws at us, we must keep brothers, not enemies. Let's come together for the family. Let's walk this walk, forgive and let it go. We need to let it go. This distance been killing me for so long. Time that we find a way to move on. Starting today, 'cause our battles are in vain. Life is too short, don't hold on. Hold up now, and I got an announcement for the album. That's why I'm playing this. All right, I have an announcement, right? I have an announcement. 1 second, I got an announcement now. Brotherly love to Zion, a slave's journey after the fire's gone. And I thought about a song, right? When Adam and Eve was together, that was the example that the Most High would give all of creation for marriage. Two people in total agreement under God for the same mission. For the same mission with a purpose of dominion over the earth with righteousness, right? Somewhere, something happened where once they partook of that tree of good and evil, a curse would happen where that curse would permeate throughout all generations. And then even the man and woman would see things entirely different. No longer would it be for the same understanding or the same purpose under the Most High, almost to a degree in which one would challenge the other, right? It would be a thing in which instead of us working together as a family like intended, that curse put a divide in between our purpose as one, right? And that had me come up with a song. I need y'all to listen to this because I'm only going to play a piece of it. That two people for the same purpose think they're right. But if we're not doing the will of the Most High together, we become two wrongs. Listen to this. Let's talk for a minute. Let's talk for a minute. How can we both be wrong? How can we both be wrong? How can we both be right? And how can we call this love? Hurting each other, and all we do is fight. How can you walk away? Listen, when we're holding on by a thread, this feeling alone sure feels strange. We might as well sleep in separate beds. We've given up for far too long. We both alright, listen, we've become two wrongs, baby. We've become two wrongs. We started out lovers and friends. Started out lovers and friends. Now I'm just searching for reasons to win. Too stubborn, don't understand. If this is love, I don't want it again. We've given up, baby. Giving up on love. Hold up now. Hold up. I have an announcement now. I have an announcement. Yes. I kind of figured that we would make songs to show the effects of our journey. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Have songs that have us constructively look at ourselves and desire our original place as God's people. I have a song, I have another song called Let's Make a Nation Like Abraham. Okay, if we're going to bring children forth, let's do it with that same purpose. Okay, Now, the announcement that I need to make is the fact that we are about to release the project that has been a long time coming. Myself, the church, we're about to release the album. And we have pre-orders that's already, working. But if you want to have it, you're going to have a CD, you're going to have a cover, you're going to have the inside information, how the songs came to be while traveling all over the earth. And it will also go, of course, towards the work. It'll have a booklet. It's going to have the CD in there, all 12 songs. And of course, the whole package is going to be like $25, or you can get the download for cheaper. Okay. But the whole album, you'll have access to it. We're going to drop singles, but you'll have access to the album. Now, you might want to know, you're probably asking, well, how do I become a part of the pre-orders? Let me give you the email. If you want to pre-order the album and have it before everyone else hear it, let me give you the details. You don't have to pay anything right now. This is just those who will be a part of the pre-order. Okay? Now, if you would, let me see here. I think I have it here. If you would like to be a part of the pre-order, you would send an email to GOCC royalty, ROYALTY music @gmail.com. GOCC royalty music @gmail.com. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, folks, is going to be nice. We're going to release the project. We're going to all the places we have churches. Eventually, we're going to do what you would call live shows to introduce the truth to brothers and sisters in the city, invite them in. And to the degree in which we're going to be doing revivals and all that with the truth music all over the earth, including Africa, the Middle East, whether it be in Europe. We're going to take it all on the road. And at the end of the songs, and in the midst of the songs, we'll be dropping the truth. Also, what I want to include in that within the United States itself is the brothers and sisters, Shirley and her family, with the plays they do for the Passover. That will also be a part of that. And what we'll have is a 2-night event. We'll have a 1-night event we'll call White Night. We dress in all white, nice white gowns, and brothers looking good with the white on. We have, small glasses of wine, and we're fraternizing amongst each other, a little music, you know what I mean? Just have a good time amongst the spiritual elite. When I say the spiritual elite, Israelites, not the demonic elites of this earth. We're going to start promoting and walking in royalty, the same royalty the Most High bestowed on our father Abraham. And we're going to have a 2-night event where we all get together and are all white and just celebrate the truth the Most High have given us. And then the next day, we're going to invite other people in. They're going to all come in, whether you be in the world, Christians or whatever, and drop the truth with this music. Hey, it's about to go down, folks. And we have to use every talent the Most High have given us to actually exalt the Most High's name and bring our people together. And that's what he gave us our gifts for. Not to be idolized, not to be out there and be looked up as a god or an idol. No. David played the harp and sung with the best of them, and with his music exalted the Most High. And that's what it's about, okay? Hey, hope you're ready. But if you want to be a part of it, again, if you want to be a part of the pre-orders, the email, GOCC royaltymusic @gmail.com. Okay. And of course, our show tonight is A Slave's Journey. And A Slave's Journey is one of the songs. How the Most High have taken us from the shores of Africa, had us serve the other nations. And now to the degree in which we are now a part of the awakening and will soon receive the promises given to our father Abraham. It's a slave's journey. Okay, and that's going to be the title. It's going to be one of the main titles of the album. But it's been a long time coming, and we're here. So if you want to be a part of this, of course, send an email GOCC Royalty Music at gmail.com. And let's go out singing When the Saints Come Marching In. To Zion, all of that is going to be on the next album. So you don't want to miss this. It's been a long time coming. People asking, when is it coming? It's here. We're dealing with the pre-orders. We're going to do the videos and we're going to release everything, and it'll be open for all of you to enjoy and to hopefully heal with. All right. All right, all right, all right. Been a long time coming. Now, here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay, I'm back on. Great. All right, let's open it up. Let's open it up here. 515-605-9327. Okay. We have a few more calls. We've got about 30 minutes before the broadcast is over. So let me go down the line here. We have 816 area code. Shalom, you're live with Shalom, you're live with the Gathering of Christ Church, A Slave's Journey. Talk to me.
Shalom, Elder. This is Brother Barzal here in KC. I just had a question, just kind of help me reconcile a few things. I know, like you were speaking about, many people who haven't really gotten the word, and not trying to conflate, just want to have an understanding with the precepts at hand, knowing that one of them, that all time, let's say time and chance happens to all men. But also with that, we also understand that those who didn't get the scriptures, I guess to say, they are law unto themselves. I was just trying to ask, does that help? Does that cause them to have to forego or be allowed to forego baptism if they didn't get it? Would they receive the kingdom just keeping a law unto themselves? You know, was my question.
Okay. Right? That's a good question, right? See, but what's confused people, right, is philosophy. This is what confusing people. A lot of people are reasoning with their own hearts and intent, right? But the Most High is not the author of confusion. Christ made it clear, right? And I'm not one to teach anything outside of Christ, right? So let's get it real quick. Right? You have your Bible?
I do.
Okay. Let's go to John 3. And 4. This is Nicodemus, an Israelite who's a teacher of the law, an upholder of the law, asking Christ, how can our people receive the kingdom of heaven? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Read St. John 3 and 4. Read it out for all of us to hear it.
The book of John, chapter 3, verse 4, Nicodemus said unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Verse 5. Yeshua answered, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Hold on, let's stop it right. No. See, you're going too fast, right? This is our Savior. This is our Savior speaking here, correct?
Correct.
This is Yeshua, right? So wouldn't he know?
Correct.
Wouldn't he know what person could enter into his kingdom and the requirements for that person?
Yes.
Read that verse again.
Verse 4, Nicodemus said unto him, how can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Yeshua answered, verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of the Most High.
Stop right there. Now, did Christ answer your question clearly?
Yes. That was my understanding. I was just wanting to know when I read the other verse about those who would be allowed to keep a law unto themselves. That's what I was trying to wondering.
But here's the deal, though. If you
I didn't want to conflate.
But
2 points in there.
but I think you're relating two scriptures that one have nothing to do with the other. If someone is keeping the law and understands Christ, then they're going to understand the importance of getting into his kingdom. Right? They're going to get baptized. Okay? Keeping the law, if keeping the law was the only prerequisite for the kingdom of heaven, then the Most High wouldn't have established, we got beats and stuff going on now. If there's going to be some noise, I got to go to the next call now. Now, listen to this. I'm sorry,
go ahead.
Don't worry about it. I'm going to put you on hold and answer this. If just following the law gave man the keys to the kingdom of heaven, then there would have been no need for John the Baptist, to have baptism or to show forth baptism as the new way. Because people were keeping the laws before John the Baptist. Okay? What separated Christ's disciples, who were Hebrews or Israelites, from the rest, they were known for the new entry of baptism, which as a gift for that individual received the gift of the Holy Spirit and the understanding that guides them and helps them towards that kingdom. So I see a lot of Israelites out there philosophizing this point. Well, if I'm following the law, that's the word of the word. Well, listen, John the Baptist wasn't dunking people in pages or scrolls. Okay? So if you want to excuse that and try to make an excuse for that to say you're going to follow the law to get in, keep in mind the one who's at the door, the porter, Christ, specified the requirements. Don't debate me. Don't try to argue at me. Okay? If you don't believe in it, be like the Pharisees who were watching John baptize. Okay? And don't try to claim, well, what about the man that was hanging on the cross with Christ? When Christ says he can get into the kingdom of heaven. So I'll tell you what, if you are hanging on a cross next to Christ and there's no way you can get out of that, you're guaranteed an entry in if he said you're going to get in. But if you're walking around just like me, you must repent and be baptized like Christ gave law to. Okay? Christ gave that law. Period. Right? All right. Let's go to the next call. 503 area code. 903. 903. You're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. Oh, Lord, have mercy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. All right. Going down the line. All right. And again, I don't want anyone to debate me on whether or not baptism is a prerequisite for the kingdom of heaven when Christ said it is. If you're not going to hear him, how can Elder Rawchaa convince you? Okay? I'm beyond arguing a mute point. You had the same guys running around talking about they was Paul, John the Baptist. They claimed they were David, Solomon, all this high knowledge, and they have the understanding of baptism. They just wanted to be recognized as someone great. Okay, and that's what I'm going to drop this Sunday in our academy. There's many ways brothers and sisters deny Christ, but the key way before men, and this is what I asked them, I don't care about all the knowledge you claim you have. Do you accept the baptism of Christ? Okay? Because if you don't, it doesn't matter the knowledge it doesn't matter if you know the book backwards and forward. You're not getting in. That's what Christ said. 513 area code.
Hello?
Shalom, talk to me, sister.
A slave's journey.
Hello.
Talk to me.
Hello, Elder. I mean, during the lesson, it just reminded me of Harriet Tubman. I know you spoke about her before and how she used the Old Testament pretty much to deliver slaves from bondage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just inspiring to hear that. Just to know, like that's the core. I mean, the whole Bible is relevant, but that's the core of the law, of the scripture, of everything that we need. I mean, so much in the Old Testament that carries on to the New, but the foundation is in the Old. So just all praises to that you brought out on that 60 Minutes piece with them using the Bible and taking out the Old Testament. So that was all I had to say.
Let me ask you this, sister. Since we're talking about a slave's journey, how did you find the truth?
I was on a search myself. I knew something was not right in my spirit. Just searching through scripture. Me and my husband, my family, we were in a Christian church. We grew up apostolic. My grandfather was apostolic. We thought we were saved and sanctified, Holy Ghost filled, all that other stuff. And just a series of events just led us to know, like, hey, this is not the way. We're missing something. Like, the Sabbath is relevant. The law, statutes, and commandments are relevant. I think we started with a journey in, like, the music world, understanding about the sorcery behind that. And then that just graduated into other levels of the truth. So that's how we found out, slowly but surely. But that's where we started.
Okay. And is there any reason whatsoever you and your family or you would ever go back to the Christian church? For any reason?
No. Like I said, my grandfather, he actually started our church here or the church we attended in Cincinnati. And I have a lot of history there, but I would never go back because it's not the truth. At the time, that's all we knew. That's what he knew. But fast forward to the present, no, sir, not looking back. I want to live righteously. I understand the Bible way more than what I did when I was in the Christian church. It makes way more sense.
Praise the Most High. All praises be to the Most High. Thank you, sister. I'm going to place you on hold, okay?
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yeah. And you know what? I asked that question because through all the great lengths the so-called powers that be went through to enslave us and keep us disconnected from our heritage, which is written within the Bible, all those great lengths still couldn't get in the way of this awakening. Because this awakening of our people finding out we're Israelites was also prophesied. It was also prophesied. Okay? Next call. I think I seen another 513 area code next to hers. Let's see. Yes. There's another. No, there's a 315. Yeah. 315 area code. Shalom. You're live. Shalom. You're with the Gathering of Christ Church. We're talking a slave's journey. Talk to me. And I see that they don't try to take out Bible passages in slavery. The only thing they wanted people to see is serve. Okay, bend, bow, shuck corn, and pick peas. Talk to me. A slave's journey.
Well, I mean, yeah, I definitely for this talk tonight was very, very, very edifying and well needed. I did have a question. At what point, because I did see the video about it speaking of, the slave Bible that they had and everything, at what point in time did they actually decide to reveal, to put, give us the Bible with all the scriptures and everything? Like, when did that start to happen? Like,
sister,
was it after? Like,
yeah. After quote unquote they abolished slavery and we received freedom or freedom, if you would ever believe that, right?
After that happened, you have to realize there are fraternities that were established to uphold the system. Now they was at a point in which they didn't need physical slavery anymore because there was enough of us in position, looking for position as authority over us also. So they began to open up theologian schools and saying, well, listen, you could become a biblical authority over your people if you learn this. So after slavery was abolished, now the slaves would go to the theologian schools and learn the doctrine so that they can, believe it or not, be taught to omit the information by not going into it. They will teach you what's important and what's not important. You understand? So it didn't make a difference whether or not the pages were there. In order to become an authority and get your papers to teach for them, you had to believe the same verses they kept in the original Bible, in the original tainted one. You understand? So that's
okay. Yeah, definitely.
Exactly. So that and that shows the importance of the theologian school, because the theologian schools is indoctrination. They don't need to take the passages out if they can warn people not to go into them. Like if you were to tell someone about the Apocrypha, a Christian pastor already have the answer to that. Oh no, that's not spiritually inspired. Where did they get that from? So they don't have to take it out of the book anymore. The indoctrination won't allow them to go in. These people are under a spell. Okay.
That's true. And one more point that I wanted to say. When you were explaining how, like, to one of the sisters, Sister Rebecca, when you were explaining to her about how we would, talk to another person about, I wouldn't say how we think of how we want to convince somebody about the truth and everything like that. Like, I liked how you, explained a better way to approach a person who doesn't, believe in the Bible or feels like, everything has been changed. Like, I really like that, turnaround you put, because I have this person that, she's a nice lady and everything like that. She's Catholic, and she says she's been Catholic all her life, but she doesn't feel the need to read the Bible. She likes to listen. She doesn't feel like she needs to read the Bible.
Okay.
And she says, it's not something that I think is important. And I'm just thinking in my head, how do I position this? Because I want to be able to tell her, but it's just like, what do I say to somebody who is just, anti-Bible, but all just wanting to hear it and everything like that,
Okay, well, sister, also understand that they would need to, it would have to be a need for them to want to hear it also, right?
Yeah.
The Bible says one that's an heretic after the second admonition, reject. The Bible, Christ told the disciples many days, once you go to someone's step, if they reject it, shake off the dust of thy feet. So you have to come to the knowledge and the understanding, and don't discourage yourself, but you got to come to the understanding when you're talking to skull and bone. And I know I know that doesn't sound good, but the reality is the Bible tell you that our people trust in oppression and stay thereon. Some of them don't want to hear it because they've built this shallow reality for themselves, and no one can shatter that bubble. They've worked so hard to get to where they are, they'd rather believe the lie and die in it. You have to deal with that reality also. Okay? Okay?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All praises. And, I'm just very happy and excited. All praises to a higher for bringing me into this truth, for allowing me to be able to encounter such an elder as yourself and the other elders like Elder Lawya and Elder Gabar and them. I'm very appreciative of you. All praises, and Thawada, Elder. Thank you.
Well, all praises be to the Most High, and thank you, sister. How old are you?
I'm 23. I'm actually that same sister from the Florida body.
Oh, excellent. Oh, yeah, I met you. Okay, bless you, bless you. All right, sister. And you know what? Stay on this journey, because so many of our young brothers and sisters have lost their way. Okay? And the majority of these churches, especially our churches, are irresponsible, teaching the law is done away with. And now that knowledge has increased, there's no way the Christian churches, especially the black churches, will be able to hold our people anymore. And I'm speaking of the youth, the young. The Most High is setting us free. Now, okay. Oh, so thank you, sister. I need to go to the next call, but thank you. And hey, you'll soon see Zion, right? We're going to do it together, all of us. Okay? Shalom.
Yes.
Okay, hold tight. Okay, real quick, I wanted to make the announcement for GOCC Africa. If you have family in Africa or you are a part of the church and want to become a part of the panel who discuss ways in which we can go into Africa and warn them from what's to come and set up the word and set up churches throughout all of Africa. If you want to be a part of this serious work when it comes to the last battleground, when you look at it. If you want to be a part of this panel, you must be a part of the church or in Africa and are looking at our videos. Okay. Now, if you are a part of our church or you've been listening for a while and want to become a part of this panel, you would send an email to GOCC Africa 144. That's GOCC Africa 144 at gmail.com. I also wanted to announce real quick, of course, people ask what's going on with the shirts, Gathering Christ Church shirts, GOCC and all the other stuff. Well, guess what? This particular shirt was made by Judah Wear, but we also have shirts, different styles of shirts and all that at iamapparel.org. Okay, go to iamapparel.org and see the new wear we have for our brothers and sisters and children, putting on our beautiful garments. Yes, you can be a part of that. Go to iamapparel.org and order, because it builds the work and expands the work beyond us, where other brothers and sisters in the church can be employed, and eventually we work and we circulate amongst ourselves and become a nation within ourselves. So we're not just talking about this, brothers and sisters. Christ said that this kingdom cometh not by observation, that the kingdom of heaven is within us. So a church should be an example of helping each other, working with each other, circulating amongst each other, so that we can pull one brick out of Babylon that's building Christ's kingdom. And if we can get someone working with us and they don't no longer have to work there, hey. And it's happening where we are expanding to the degree in which brothers and sisters can get helped also. And we can now help expand and promote other brothers and sisters' gifts who didn't have the options or the outlet otherwise. Like we have GOCC Network on our webpage, gatheringofchrist.org. These are gifts that brothers and sisters, businesses that they never thought other people would support. We're supporting them. We're giving them an outlet. We're giving them a platform to be able to promote what the Most High have gifted them with. Okay? So if you want to get apparel, iamapparel.org. Go there and you'll be helping the work and helping other brothers and sisters build within the work. Okay, a slave's journey. Let's go down the line. 757 area code.
Hello.
Hello. I'm blessed by the best, and his name is Ahia.
Hello.
Talk to me.
Yes, giving praise to the Most High God, Ahia, in the name of Yeshua. I was calling for more than one reason. One is I want to be baptized.
Hold up, sister. You got to speak into the phone. I can barely hear you, sister.
I want to be baptized, and I wanted to find out where a church is here in Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay, you in VA, Virginia. Okay, I'm gonna put your number down here.
Yes.
Hold on. Let me get your number. One moment. I'm writing it down now. Okay. Let me have your name, sister.
Felita.
Say that again.
Felita. Felita.
Okay. Well, we're going to have one of the elders and the deacons call from your area and invite you to a Sabbath, and we can begin that road towards the kingdom together. And of course, you will learn what you would need to do. We have an orientation to give you some information on baptism. Of course, we have to be contrite, look inwardly with our sins and go to the Most High and lay them down and sin no more. You understand? But if you want to become a part of the work and get baptized, that's what we're here to help you with, sister, okay?
Yes, and I also had paid for the class. I paid for one class, but I haven't received any information from that yet.
Okay, well, don't worry about it.
I didn't know we had to pay. I didn't know we had to pay the whole $150, so I had just paid $50.
Okay. Well, don't worry about it. We'll work it out. We'll call you. Let me put down Academy also. We'll call you and make it up. We'll find a way to make it up so that you'll get everything you need. Don't worry about it, okay? Including the Academy. Okay?
Okay. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is that...
So this is one more thing. Hold up,
are
sister.
doing this work.
Is this one more thing, sister? Or this is the last one more thing, right?
Yes.
All right, come on.
I want to say thank you for doing this work. I just wanted to say thank you for doing this work. I was praying to God one day, driving my car, and I wanted to know if I am that I am was his. Well, I knew that he said that to Moses on the mount, but I wanted to be sure because all these things that I was watching on TV and different things that I was reading, and then I came upon you saying the exact thing, Ahaya, in it, Ahaya, and I said, Lord, you answered my prayer because I was crying and I was just crying all day long about that. So just want to think about that.
Sister, bless you. And guess what? That is the Most High's name, Ahaya. Okay? Keep in mind that that Jehovah and Yahweh, the name that's exalted by the synagogue of Satan today, we all know who they are. They know that name come from from Jovi or Zeus. Yahweh and Jehovah under the Greeks was Zeus. Jehovah or Yahweh or Yahweh, depending on how you want to pronounce it, okay? Keep in mind that was the god of the Canaanites or of the Shashu. When you look into Nile Valley history, the Shashu were the family of Edom who turned to Yahweh after losing his birthright and his blessing. Yahweh is Jovi. Jovi is Jovi. It's the same name. And Jovi is Zeus. It has always been Satan. Now you have people who want to defend Satan's name because he hide in plain sight by saying, well, Ahaya is in the first person or the second person. First of all, the Most High is not a person. He's not going to fit into your grammatical idea of him. Okay? He told Moses the name, and that name was revealed before the Israelites were set free. A matter of fact, Yah was a moon god worshipped by the Egyptians in Egypt before the Most High revealed his name to Moses. Okay? So you got people calling on Yah.
Yeah.
Not realizing that's a moon god.
90 seconds.
So don't get me started. So his name is Ahaya. Stick with it. That's the name that was given before he released the children of Israel. And the whole earth cannot say, especially our people, you cannot say you weren't told. Thank you, sister. I'm going to place you on hold. Okay. We have 1 minute before all calls are cut off, and I'll just go down the line. 515-605-9327. You got 60 seconds to call in. 515-605-9327. Okay? I'm going to say it again, and guess what? I'm not afraid to say it. Yahweh has always been Satan, folks. He's the God of the Jewish people. He was the God of the Canaanites. Yah means power or God, and Hava, which Jay-Z say his name is Hova, means mischief and wickedness. The God of wickedness is Yahweh or Jehovah. That's Satan, isn't it? And that's why Jay-Z picked up Hova, which means wickedness and evil. Wake up, folks. They talking about that means he is. Yeah. Satan.
10 seconds.
Yeah, he is. Satan is. That's what that is. Let's go. 903 area code. Shalom. Shalom. You're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. Talk to me.
I like the Slave Bible talk because I know you may have kind of hit on it a little bit, but it really made me think about how our people in the Christian church, how the pastors, they're now the slaves. And I've seen how they use the Bible to control the congregation. And even with, they still want to control people. And then, because I've heard a few pastors say that in order to keep people at the church and to do what they want them to do, they got to preach a certain way. And then also, like, they become friends with these people, the Gentiles that have enslaved us, like Kenneth Copeland and all of them. And so they don't want to say anything because they don't want to offend them. So, like, they're just carrying on, like you said, what they've been taught.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
I'm sure most of our people like us.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I was saying that I'm sure most of our people like us, once they find out the truth, they're going to revolt against Christianity.
I'll tell you what, these pastors know who's buttering their bread, right? It's really the Zionists. Mm-hmm. The Zionists are funding these pastors with this antichrist slave doctrine. Okay? So let me ask you a real question. How long have you been, if someone say Yahweh is the correct name, go for it. Okay? Hey, do what you do. But anyway, let me ask you, sister, what is your journey? Speaking of a slave's journey, how did you find the truth?
Oh, I had spoke on my journey of how it's been, I think, over a year. Okay. How some guy that I don't know led me out of the Christian church, and I never saw him at the gathering. And like I said, I don't know if he was human or not, but I consider him as my guardian angel.
So someone just guided you to the church?
Yeah, guided me to the church, knew the address and the elders and everything. And when I ran this person's name across the elders out here and talked to a few members, they said they have no clue who that person was. But like I said, it was a guy adorned in all white, and I was going to it was a Baptist church in South Dallas, and a guy kept telling me over and over to leave that Christian church every time I would go out there, and it would go in one ear and out the other. But I finally started paying attention to him, and the more that I paid attention to him and I started going, the less I heard from him until I didn't hear from him anymore. And I don't hear from him to this day.
Let me ask you this: do you find yourself going back to do you find yourself going back to the Baptist church anytime soon?
Most definitely not. I was already fed up with Christianity. I didn't know about GOCC or anything like this, but I was already looking for a way out.
I thank the Most High that we were there. And I mean, there's a lot of places we have to go. We're going to be traveling to Colorado, into Denver, set up our churches there. Of course, we have to go to Alabama and set things up. Of course, I'm going to Washington State almost immediately. We have to go back there and make sure we get those brothers and sisters together that are there. We're going to have one presence, at least an hour or an hour and a half in every direction throughout the United States very soon. That's going to be our, that's going to really be our mission throughout this year, to make sure that anywhere in the earth, in the United States, you got an hour and a half maximum to travel to get to a gathering of Christ Church. So this is the year we're going to bring forth the music.
What is this?
Hey, it's about to happen, sister. It's going to happen. This is the year. Okay?
That is good. I would like for my family that was in the church to be able to get to a gathering because they don't live anywhere close. But
Okay.
I've been telling them about it, but I would like for them to go and experience it because it's really been a blessing to me.
It's been a blessing to me too, sister. And thank you. And welcome to the family, and praise the Most High. Ahaya Bashim Yeshaya Waruah. Bless you, sister.
It's the water.
Again, the bar. Praise the Most High. 623 area code, and after that 856. Let me get through all these calls. I want to make sure everyone have their word before this particular broadcast ends. 623 area code. Shalom, you're live with the Gathered of Christ Church. Okay, 856 area code. After 856, we're going to go to 562. Make sure nothing is playing in the background, please. 856 area code.
Yes, Shalom. I just want to say something from 2 points of view. One, I want to talk about this slave journey. When I was a little girl, my mother had pointed to my grandmother's wall, and she told me the picture on the wall of the so-called white Jesus Christ was not our Savior. She told me about Revelations, and she told me that Christ was black like me.
She was right.
She also told me that the first should be last, and she had let me know that they will serve us. And what else did she tell me? She told me a lot of different things that I kept from about 8 years old. So on my journey, what I began to do as I got older, I gave up the pagan holidays, and then I began to keep the Sabbath, and then I began to seek out the Gathered of Christ Church, which I did find, came upon, got baptized, and now I'm in that journey. All praises to Ahaya, Hashem, Yeshaya, Rawchaa. And as well as the other point of view is when I have someone that whose father was my pastor when I was a teenager in college, and from time to time I would talk to him and share scriptures with him. I would share your videos with him. So he was in Church of God of Christ, and I had brought out to him as his attention. I said, do you know that the Trinity is a Babylonian concept? And I said, can you show it to me in your Bible? He said, no, it's not there. I said, I know it's not. And so he said, well, no, I believe that God is one. He's the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. I said, well, then that would make him a ventriloquist. I said, because who was Christ speaking to when he was in the Garden of Gethsemane? And who was the Father speaking to when he said, this is my beloved Son, hear ye him? And he really couldn't answer those things. He said, well, it doesn't matter. I believe in the Godhead and all one. But he went to the theologian school. I know that. He always speaks of that. So that's one of the ways to keep them while they're enslaved. They're enslaved to how they were taught. And even though one can see it in the Bible, you can show it to them from scripture to scripture and precept and show them they can't get out of what they were taught because they're enslaved to that.
You know what, sister? You've just jogged a serious thought in me as far as an idea for a show. I'm going to do a show soon, or maybe, Elder Lawyer, maybe we need to discuss this, whether or not we need to introduce it in the academy first. The history of the Theologian Seminary School. We have to show its Jesuits' origin. Who created it, for what purpose, and for what people? We need to delve all into that historically. Who idea it was when it first began, because that's really the key emphasis of indoctrination and keeping our people in this perpetual psychosis. And you're going to find that there was a lot of sorcerers, a lot of people delving into witchcraft, and Masons who are behind the theologian seminary schools, mainly the highest wicked fraternity on earth, the Jesuits. So, Elder Lawyer, we're going to talk about this off the line, but I don't think our people have the understanding or the insight of who they're yielding their spirit to learn from. I believe our people believe that they're going to learn a higher level of knowledge on a biblical level to fulfill a calling without understanding the depths of that decision. So Sister, thank you. I'm going to do that. We're going to do the history of the Theologian Seminary School, and you're going to find that Satan himself was the head of the table for that original council.
Yes,
But
sir. And
yeah,
another thing, Elder, I started there last May 2018, and I was put into the academy that June, and I've been there ever since. I don't plan on getting out. I'm enjoying it. I love it. The information cannot even be compared to the money, because the wealth of information that you all give us is nothing to the amount of money. That $50 a month can't even compare to what sitting there 4 hours teaching us. You know, so when people want to say, oh, you're buying the gospel, you're paying for the, no, we're not paying for anything. Because you sit there 4 or 5 hours, you couldn't get that in the institution. I know when I went to college for nursing, it cost way more than what I'm paying in this academy. So,
but you know what it is?
Sister,
sister, but you know what it is? Our people don't value anything coming from their own people. They'd rather go in debt and learn and get a piece of paper that'll do nothing for them in this society and say that they got a degree by the same people they claim enslaved them or is keeping them down, than to actually help support people who are actually helping us out of darkness. That's part, and you know what? I don't blame them, because that's part of the programming with our people. They can't, they feel that everything they get from us, their own people, should be free while they pay everyone else, you know, in this system, which is,
you're right.
Yeah. So it's weird to me. It's weird to me that they here it is. You have a pastor, or they will go to seminary school. They'll pay for all the books and get all the information for Sunday school, and paying the same people who are controlling them. But yet you have a person saying, "Oh, hold up, we shouldn't have to pay $50 to learn." Well, this is organized information where a lot of work went into and time went into. Okay, and the administration. So one brother said, sister, that, okay, we shouldn't charge. I'm like, well, that's fine. You sponsor all the people that need to come in and all the hours it takes to stay up to send all the details, and we'll do it for absolutely free. If you sponsor it, we'll do it exactly how you would like. Okay? And it's these same people, and you ask, okay, you have a Bible in front of you? Did someone give you that for free? You'll go to the white man and buy a Bible. But yet, what's more valuable? Being able to understand. Isn't it more valuable to be able to understand what's in front of you? But I digress. That's our people.
Yes. Thank you so much. And, and I'm sitting under someone. You have me sitting under wonderful Bishop Amar. Great teacher.
Oh, yeah. He's a good brother, isn't he? Yeah.
So just thank you all.
All right.
Yes, he is.
Thank
Very
you.
knowledgeable.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you all.
And you know, I'll see you first fruits. I'll be there this Sabbath for first fruits. All right?
I kind of figured that.
Of course. All right. Bless you.
Bless you.
All right. Going down the line, 562 area code. Shalom. This is Elder Rawchaa. Shalom. We're discussing a slave's journey. Talk to us.
All right, so check it out, man. This brother Adam with the Southern Cow Body. When I was looking at this thing, right, I'm seeing it twofold. So they're bringing out the information because we're starting to back them into a corner with the truth. And so to me, I see them, they're reverting back to their training like that they do in school. They always make sure they tell us, oh, your history started as a slave. So now that we're starting to back them into this corner, they're bringing out stuff like, oh, remember you were a slave? Hey, we took stuff out of your book. Why? Because you was a slave. They're trying to remember and remind us of the power that they're losing, that they had over us. And then it also brings me, and you got to forgive me if you went over this already because I missed the first part due to work, but what the scriptures say, that it's going to get to that point where they're going to be like, okay, you got it. You're right. You're the children of Israel, like they did on CNN. Yeah, we took this out of your Bible. Yep, we stole the land. We stole everything. So now that you know, we're gonna engage you, and let's see if your God's really gonna protect you. Let's see if you really are the people like you say. So this is when I see this, it's just a sober reminder. Like, man, that time is close. They about to start physically engaging us now that they're just coming out with it now. So that's how I see it.
And you know what? And that's why I'm going to have this broadcast next week, because normally the so-called Zionist news will never give a front page or dedicate 2 front pages to Israelites, okay? Unless it's something they can use to actually demonize everyone with, okay? All the information we've been dropping for decades, now all of a sudden you have someone who has dealt with criminality. I'm going to say it, straight criminality. Now you're going to dedicate some time to Israelites now that it's criminal. But we're going to go into that next week, because we have a guest who's going to come on who was under Tazadakia for years in the Israeli, what they call themselves now, the Israeli Church of God and Jesus Christ, when there's nothing Christ about that organization. But he's going to come on next week, and he's going to give an in-depth interview and answer a lot of questions concerning what's really going behind closed doors with that particular organization. And you don't want to miss that next week. All right, brother? So I got to place you on hold, because there's others waiting, okay?
Hey, thank you for your time, Elder.
Bless you, brother. And you brought some great points. And I'm going to go into that in Wisdom of Solomon. I had that scripture, how the wicked sits back watching us with an agenda to exterminate us. Of course, you can believe in that Bible as long as you think I'm Christ. As long as you think I'm Moses, sure. I don't care, because, yeah, I'm still supreme. My whole thing is power. I don't care what book you believe in. I'm gonna tell you. If we as a people, believe it or not, if we as a people, folks, entrusted in a book called The Cat in the Hat, they would have used that. Okay, they just know power. They don't care, what facilitates it. But now that we have taken our Bible back and say, hold up, you're not the people. You've converted throughout all of history. You never was a people. Now, like I said, now everyone and their mama want to become a Buddhist now. The same people that was doing the Hail Marys and all that and the rosary beads, they sitting there with a pair of tights on, in a yoga stance. Let's go. They're like, okay, we can't use the Bible no more. You know what I mean? Let me jump into Asian religion. They just moved they went from the Middle East to Asia now. Everybody and their mama got a Buddha statue on their mantelpiece now. Oh, the gig is up. Okay, we're not Moses. We're not Christ. We can't say, okay, the gig is up. No more Bible. We can't use it for power, so what good is it? Let's go. 318 area code. Let's go.
Hello, it's me. How you doing? This is Stacy.
How you doing, Stacy? Talk to us.
I'm doing fine. I came in kind of late, but I did give my explanation when I was able to put it in. But with me, in reference to the slavery thing, it was more like you still had a choice to do what was right.
Yeah.
But it was the fact that it could be some repercussions. But I really believe, like what you said, I believe in the word, and that we have power in the word, in His word, and as we walk in that, we don't have to have the fear of them trying to just come start taking us out. That's how I strongly feel, because there is power in Him and in us walking in the Most High and walking in His order that He has.
And I believe that there's safety in that, you know, that hedge that he has around you. I believe that is for real, and that he will protect, because I had an incident that came upon me at this age I am in the store. I went into the store and, you know, to get some food, and when I went out the next day, it was a guy not like me that worked there. And when I went to put gas in my truck, my husband's truck, he came in, and I really didn't recognize him, but he came in the store, and he was talking to me through my back, and so I didn't know who he was. I wasn't going to say anything. I was just trying to pay for the gas. And I didn't respond to him, because I'm like, is he really talking to me? And so because I didn't respond, he actually put his hands on me, my back, between my neck and my shoulder.
Are you kidding me?
Like it's standing in front of you. Huh?
No, go on.
Yeah, and so he put his hands on me. This man put his hands on me and had it on my neck and my shoulder, as though, like, if I'm standing right in front of you, it would be on my left side, you know, and so the young lady's right there, and she sees this, the one who's cashing the money. So he kept saying, oh, that's a mighty new truck you got. You know, I didn't know the guy was talking to me. Okay, and so I'm not going to respond. I didn't know who he was talking to. So then when he touched me, like literally, in my mind, I didn't know what to do. I just kept silent, and I'm wondering what's going on here, but I kept silent. So then he kept saying it. I kept saying, it's not a new truck, and never looked at him. And then I paid, and then went on out, came to my truck to put the gas in. And he came out, and he parked right on the other side, and he's still talking. And so I say, well, this is my husband's truck. You know, I had to tell him I'm married. You know, basically, this is my husband's truck. And he kept talking, and so I just said, well, it's a 2014. So when I said that, that's when he said, oh, okay, it's not new. Okay, and then I just got in my truck and drove off. But I didn't go home because I had a sense that he would try to follow me. So I went another way and went to a store.
Okay, hold up, sister, because this is going into a hole real quick. I'm just asking you this. Okay, so you said you were standing somewhere and a white guy tapped you. Was a white guy who tapped you or touching you, and he was following you? What city and state?
Well, I'm I'm from New Orleans, but I live in Monroe.
No, where did this happen at? Where did this happen at, sister?
Huh?
Where did that happen at?
It happened at the gas station. I went to the Chevron gas station to get gas, and
I understand, sister. I'm asking you, what city and state did this happen in?
Oh, it's in Monroe, Louisiana.
Okay, you got a bunch of good old boys out there. So what you're saying is, you're saying in a nutshell is this: is that the Most High put a hedge over you, and you don't have the spirit of fear.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Yeah. In lieu of them looking to engage us based on their brazen actions that's going on against our people right now. And I believe to some degree, okay, I'm gonna place you on hold real quick, sister. All right. You can hear the rest offline, yeah. Okay. But I believe that it has already started in a lot of degrees. You're hearing right now, right? You're hearing right now more and more, not white people or white men engaging black men, but more so them actually doing things against black women. Now, that's just a step before they get to us. They had to first focus on incarcerating a large number of us, to the degree in which the women wouldn't be protected. That's number one. Then they had to operate and work a system that would have the woman go against the man and vice versa, where the woman is alone with no protection. And it so happened, thank the Most High, you have a husband, but he wasn't there. Then they made a system where at one time, believe it or not, brothers and sisters, it was one time, and my grandfather used to talk to me about this, where a woman wouldn't even go into a public place knowing the threat that was out there with the good old boys, unless their husband or someone close, family or brother or something, went with them. Our sisters were always protected in the olden days because it was nothing for these other people who were racist or had hate in their heart to rape or try to engage our sisters. So now we've been separated to a certain degree in which it's brazen now. They're now going against sisters now, out in the open, with guess what? With no threat of anything happening to them. That's where we've come. And I'm saying that to say this, sisters right now. It's time to come back under the hedge. Okay? It's time to come back under the hedge of a man because you're going to need him. We can downplay the importance of a man right now. But what's about to happen? You're going to wish one was around. Okay? And to your point, sister, of mentioning not to fear the things that they're planning to do. This is what Christ said. And I'm in Matthew 10 and 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. It says, but fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul. But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. That's who we fear. We fear the Most High and no man. Why? These souls are eternal. And even if you take us, we're coming back. Okay? You will see us. See, and that's what they feared the slaves would begin to understand. All right. Let's go down the line. 423 area code. Talk to me. You're live with the Gathering of Christ Church.
Hello.
Shalom. We're going to try to make it quick.
Shalom, Elder.
Shalom. We got to make it a minute to the at the most. Shoot.
This is Brother Judah 144.
Hey, brother, how are you?
Hey, Elder. All right. Elder, I got a comment and a question on tonight's topic.
Okay.
My comment is, maybe the so-called white man had thought of it like this. You know, in Psalms 83, and it gets down to that line, that very important line, where it says, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he thought of it like this. Maybe he was thinking like, in order to control a people, I'm going to have to make them people think that they God looks like me. So I'm going to take scriptures and chapters out of this book in order to oppress them in the next generation, you know, and keep it going and keep us oppressed and under and have us, you know, killing each other, going crazy, turning our people away from the book, you know, just all sorts of kind of mess, man. And to put it all in a nutshell, the plan almost worked. All praises to the Most High. It didn't, but it almost worked. For some of our people, just like you said, Elder, they believe that that's a white man's book, just on account of him doing that, taking scriptures out the book, you know, precepts, line upon line, changing things around and stuff. And
hold up, brother. Before you go there with your question, let me tell you, when these guys claim that it's a white man's book, that's a cop-out. Let me explain why. When have you ever rejected what the white man has been given you? But you're going to reject the Bible because it's his? Right. When have you ever rejected you wear what the white man gives you, what he advertises? So now all of a sudden you would accept everything from the white man except the book you claim belongs to him? That's a cop-out. Okay. Don't try to use that as an excuse now. And here it is. I'm looking at you. Okay, I'm looking at you. And you got a pair of jeans that you bought for the white man, shirts you bought from the white man. You went and got measured from the white man and got on his suit. But now you can't accept the Bible because it's a white man's book. Give me a break. That's a cop. Right. That's a cop-out. 9 times out of 10, you know why. Right, listen, 9 times out of 10, you know why they can't accept the Bible? Because they know the Bible is pointing out a sin that they will never give up. That's why. They know the sin is pointing to darkness or evil within them. It has nothing to do with the white man because they've always accepted everything the white man was pushing. So why not accept the Bible? Right. If you believe it's a white man, you got everything else that belongs to him. You got the white man's car. You got the white man's house. Hey, a lot of you even got his woman. But yet you will look, but then you will look at us and say, well, hold up, it's a white man's book. I can't deal with it. That's a cop-out. But go on. Let's go.
Hey, Elder, and my question is, I sent some emails to GOCC South, man. I'm trying to get baptized. I want to be a part of, Yeshua's body.
Yeah.
And be accepted into the kingdom.
Yeah.
My spirit is ready, so if you can, take down my information and call me and stuff, and it's some personal stuff that I need to talk to you about too.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get an ink pen.
Okay.
Well, let me grab it. I think it fell here. Hold on, I can write it down here. One moment. Okay, it must have fell. Right. All right, hold up. I have your number. Just give me your name. Let me have your name.
My name is Frederick Sanders.
Okay, Frederick. Okay, all right. Hold on, let me write down your number here. I have it in front of me. One moment. One moment, because I have to get to the rest of these calls. Hold on. Yeah. We have a long broadcast tonight, right? Frederick, okay, I have your number here. It starts with 423, right?
Okay.
423, I have it here. One moment. Okay. And what city and state?
Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Tennessee, okay. All right, brother. You're going to see us soon in Tennessee. Don't worry about it. All right? All right.
Okay.
I'm going to have no problem. We're going to have the elders reach you. Shalom. Great points. Tell me there's a white man's book, and here it is. You got everything you got on headed from toe came. When have our people started rejecting things given to them by the white man? That's a cop-out. That's a lie. Next. 757 area code. Shalom, you're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. Talk to me. You've talked to me earlier, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's go down the line then. Who haven't spoken to us? 305. I only have a few more. 305 area code. You're live with the Gathering of Christ Church. Talk to me.
Shalom, Elder Shalom.
Shalom, talk to me.
Okay, so a few points real quick, and then I do have a question. So about what's going on, a few angles. The book and everything that's going on, period, is all part of the highest plan. As we understand, he allows Satan to do certain things. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. Come on, talk to me.
Okay. Yeah, he allows Satan to operate. And so Satan, as we read in the Apocrypha, which used to be part of the King James Bible, he's going to change the scriptures. He's going to change statutes. He's going to do these things. But also, we're going to wake up, and it's going to happen, and it is happening. Part of Satan's deception, the things that he did, he uses our entertainers. And back in the day, Good Times, they showed the scriptures and they showed the Christ. And they show how he wasn't a white man, and they changed television, they changed our entertainers and made them worship it and exploit our people and do some things that were very wicked. But Satan always is going to be defeated. And so now you have our Israelites waking up. You have Kendrick Lamar and Kodak Black and people. It's not going to stop. So, we got to just stay down and stay diligent in this work. And, me, myself, for example, I started in 2012. I'm still here. I've been able to be baptized. I'm here in New Orleans, Louisiana, and we helped build the church from the ground up. And my uncle is now a part of this work. I have a brother part of the work, and I have another friend part of it. And that just brings me to my question, Elder. My uncle is in Detroit. He just recently got with us, and he wants to get. I told him about Elder Dale, Salakia. I told him about Elder Dale, and I wanted him to get in contact with them, or I was trying to put us all in contact when I go back home this summer so he can get baptized. And I know the process, and I was telling him about everything. But if you can take my information, at least my phone number, so that I can get Elder Dale information, so I can link everybody up.
Okay, I can do that. Hold on.
That's my question.
Let me get your name.
Okay. Semyak Shiloh.
Okay.
That's my Hebrew name, Shiloh Semyak La'ab. And I'm down here in New Orleans for my phone number.
Okay, what I'll do is I'll give you a number. You have Elder Dale. He's a warrior. He's been with us since the beginning of this. I'll give your number to Elder Dale. He runs a very tight family over there in Detroit. Not too many people get in. I'll tell you that. But he just want to make sure that the family stay tight. It doesn't matter how many. It doesn't matter whether or not it's a bunch or hundreds of thousands and all that. It's not about the number. It's about it's about people who's loyal to the work itself. So what I'll do is I'll give your number to Elder Dell. He'll reach out to you and you can connect him with your uncle in Detroit. Okay.
What?
All right, my brother. All right, Shalom. Last call, one call, and then I have to make a statement of Elder Lawyer. If you're still with me, if you have some points to make at the end, you'll be more than, it's open for you to do so, okay? All right, one more, 323 area code. Last call. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom.
A slave's journey. Talk to me.
You had made a great point earlier. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go on.
You had made a great point earlier as far as how they will take things and manipulate it to their benefit. I forgot your exact words.
Yeah.
But, it was interesting to me when I had went back to re-review the Mayflower Compact. And, when I wasn't in the truth, it read differently. But once I came into the truth, it's funny because they were blatant. We already know they've been blatant liars. But when you get a chance, read it, because in the beginning they tell you, in the name of God, amen. And then they call themselves the loyal subjects of the dread sovereign Lord King James, by the grace of God, of England, France, and Ireland. And it's like, it seems like it's all playing out as far as the prophecy and them coming over here and, doing the things they did to us. And that was like right at 1620. We came over here as slaves in 1619. It was like, all the plants so to make us believe that they're the heads and the Bible is theirs.
Oh, let me tell you. I did a lesson not too long ago where they claimed that the Bible was built on Judeo-Christendom. That was a straight deception. America was built off of occultism, witchcraft, sorcery, and it's Babylonian at the root. It never had anything to do with the God of the Bible. The only reason they had the Bible is they knew that according to prophecy for a time, they would have God's people in servitude. So in order to learn the people and to control the people, you needed their instructions or their book, right? And the knowledge of their book as a form of control. Okay?
Right. I felt like they were running from King James.
Hey, let me tell you, King James was giving the Romans hell, that brother was. Okay? He was giving them hell. Okay? But eventually, we would lose our last power in England. And we lost our last power under King James. Not until the Most High allowed through the Spirit for this book we are defending to be authorized. Okay? And guess what? They've made up all types of stories on King James. Oh, he's gay. He had gay lovers. Here it is. They protect the Queen of England, right? They protect her with every breath in them. And guess what? She walk on rose petals and no one can say anything evil about the Queen of England. But yet the only role but they allow the world to smear King James without defense. That should tell you right there he's a black man. Sister, let me tell you.
Absolutely. I've been in the Academy 2016.
Exactly. So the whole thing, sister, all in all, as long as they have power, they don't care what book they use to facilitate it. As long as they're on top. Like I said before, when they found out that what we were saying on the streets were true, that the book do belong to us, they went from it doesn't matter to the degree of, guess what? The Bible never existed. Christ never existed. The Israelites never existed. The same people that used to put Cedric Bourget is saying this now. That we don't even know if Christ ever lived. But they upheld him as long as we believe that Christ looked like them. It was all about power the whole time. It had nothing to do with the tenets and the belief in Christ. And if they don't have authority, they would rather not be a part of it at all if they're not the authority of it. Because why? These people even know it's their time. It's the Romans' time. But the times of the Gentiles are at an end. Anything else, sister?
God bless.
Bless you. Bless you. All right. I want to read one thing real quick, and then after that, I'm going to turn it over to Elder Lawya. Oh, we have one more call. 609 area code. That's it. Talk to me.
Hey, shalom, Elder.
Shalom. You got about 1 minute.
I wanted to talk about so there's a video going around on the internet about this video game, Mortal Kombat 11. And there's a black character named Jax. And at the end, he basically is, because I guess he won some kind of a tournament, he's able to go back and prevent slavery from happening. And you've got a bunch of Edomites on the internet complaining about this ending. There's one white lady in particular saying, how it makes her sad. And if slavery never happened, our music wouldn't be the way it was. And they came over here on a slave ship and they developed their culture and their music. And, it's racist, for them to, because in the end, they show him basically with like it looks like one southern tribe and one northern tribe on his left and right. And he's living in what she called the black ethno state. It's like Wakanda, she said. And I'm listening to this woman, and one video, an Israelite from another church, whatever, was breaking it down, and he brought in that scripture about how they required from us a song. She complained about our music wouldn't be the same without him. That scripture, they required of us a song.
Yeah, Psalms 139, yeah.
And I'm seeing this for the first time. And I'm seeing this, and I'm like, I can't even describe how angry I was watching that video. And when you see, I never saw that spirit like that before. And it's a video game. It's not even real. So it was a problem that a fictional black character that was made by white people stopped slavery from happening, and they lived in an all-black nation.
Hey, brother. Hey, brother.
Hey,
brother, I'm going to help you out real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to help you out real quick. Slavery is used by the powers that be, right, to trigger us. It's a diversion. No longer do I think about these white people when it comes to slavery anymore. I think about the God who put me in captivity under them for disobedience. So anytime they mention slavery or the white man, I'm going to mention the Most High in the Bible. See how it works? See, you have to realize these are trigger events because as long as they can make you angry, they have power over you. You have to understand the levels of diabolical magic these guys are playing with. Like for instance, a person that you don't care about really can't get you upset. Okay, you're really not angry at that person. You get mad if someone you love hurts you. So this is a weird way they use slavery as a trigger to show how much power they still have over us. That's why they always, listen to me. Every other year, every other month, they come out with a slavery picture to make us mad, roots, all this. Why do you think there's Jewish producers behind this? It's part of their power over us. So every time they talk about slavery, we're going to talk about Israelites. We're going to undo the curse and not be triggered. We're going to teach off of it now. Never get triggered through them, brothers and sisters. Brothers, it's part of their control. It's a trigger. Don't get mad. When she say, oh, we needed Soft Shoe and Soft Shoe and them singing those old Negro spirituals, because if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have hip hop. That's a trigger. It's on purpose. So now everybody online can talk about it. It's the white man. And you know what they're saying? Guess what? We still have power over them. Look how triggered they are.
Well, let me explain what really got me upset.
Come on.
It's in the dialogue, in Jack's dialogue, he said that he made the earth better for everybody. You understand? And in my head, I'm looking like, this doesn't even make sense, because if I know the prophecies of Israel being empowered, the world would be better even for them. They actually would live better under Yeshua's rule than they are under the rule that they currently are under. And that's what really made me upset. Like, what kind of spirit is this that somebody would actually want that to happen?
Hey, brother, I'm with you, but I hope you hear what I'm saying. These people that are doing this are witches. Listen, these people they are cultivated from covens and different witchcraft circles and all that. I'm going to tell you, brother, this is all about control and seeing how much power they have over us, whether or not they can have power over our emotions, when only our personal family and God should have that power. That's it. They shouldn't have that power to trigger us. But I yield. That's another show in itself. Let's stop giving these people all that power. They're not that deep. Okay? The only reason these people got power is because we were disobedient. They're not that intelligent. They're not all they claim to be. The only thing they have is the history they made about themselves to make themselves feel good. That's it. And we have to stop giving these people that much power. They're not that smart. Because you don't build technology where you can say this is nice, and back of it is poison coming out of it, killing everybody, within a 2 feet radius. They're not that intelligent. Okay? So let's stop giving them all that. Our God is the God. Okay? Our Christ is the Christ. Our ingenuity was clean ingenuity. We're the people. All right. Let's leave it there. All right. A slave.
All right, shalom.
Shalom. A slave's journey. Oh my goodness. Let these people, these witches and warlocks are sitting in circles saying, how can we go get these Negroes triggered? That's all they do. Because why? If you can show an emotion, that automatically draws power to them. They still have control over you. Lord, have mercy. Let me break down something out of this Bible real quick before we end. And I know I be seeing them when they be expecting certain reactions off me, and when I be talking with them, like, I know they be thinking, where did this nigger come from? Because I don't deal with them from, I'm talking about regular old, I don't deal with them from that vantage point of, hey, how you doing, and shucking and jiving and all that. No, it's not all that. I'm a son of the Most High God. Okay, the promise is the world, and the world is ours. We just haven't received it yet. And that's how I'm dealing with them. Okay? Now, let me read this real quick. It's inevitable. We will rule, and I know it. This is how they think. Wisdom of Solomon. Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, tells us how the white power of the Edomites, the unrepentant Satanists who control this world, how they think. Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter, read, for the ungodly said reasoning with themselves, but not aright, because they got twisted thoughts. Our life is short and tedious, and in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave. For we are born in all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath in our nostrils is as smoke and a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguished, our body shall be turned into ashes, and our spirit shall vanish as the soft air. And our name shall be forgotten in time. They know that. And no man shall have our works in remembrance, and our life shall pass away as the trace of a cloud, and shall be dispersed as a mist that is driven away with the beams of the sun and overcome with the heat thereof. For our time is a very shadow that passeth away. And after our end, there is no returning, for it is fast sealed so that no man cometh again. So come on, therefore, let us enjoy good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in our youth. That's why they never grow up. Everything is a game for them, right? They never grow up. They be grown people still doing kid stuff. Let us fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments, and let no flower of the spring pass us by. Let us crown ourselves with rosebuds before they are withered. Let none of us go without his part of our voluptuousness. Let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place. That's why they leave statues of themselves everywhere. But why? Because they don't want no one to forget about them. So they leave statues and monuments and all that so that they can still be relevant. It says here, let us leave tokens of our joyfulness in every place, for this is our portion, and our lot is this. That means this is all we'll have. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. So while they enjoying life, Disney, you name it, on top of that, let us oppress the poor righteous man. This is their thoughts. Let us not spare the widow. We don't care about the women with no husbands. Them poor black women. Let us leave tokens of let us oppress the poor righteous man. I'm in the 10th verse. And let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let's just put old people down. Let's just make them fearful with all these stupid commercials and then euthanize the aged instead of receiving wisdom from them. Right? Let our strength be the law of justice. And we're going to use the law of the land to oppress these poor black people, right? It's in the Apocrypha, folks. Let us oppress the poor righteous man, and let us spare not the widow, and no reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age. Let our strength be the law of justice. Listen to this. Let our strength be the law of justice. We're going to use the law against them. right? For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth, because these poor people ain't worth nothing anyway. This is how they think in their minds. Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous. We're going to lie in wait for the righteous, those that are following the law, because he is not for our turn, and he is clean contrary to our doings. He upbraideth us with our offending the law. So who are they talking about? The Israelites, who are talking about how wicked the heathens are breaking God's law. And objective to our infamy, the transgression of our education. They're saying that our education is stupid. Yes, it's stupid. You pay all that money, put people in debt, and the jobs they get is not even related to their degrees. That's a stupid education system. When you can get all these degrees, you're in debt, and the piece of paper you have isn't in the field you got the education in. That's why, yeah, it is. This educational system is idiotic. And it says they get mad because we say their education is stupid. It is stupid. 13th verse. He professeth to have the knowledge of God. That's right, we do, because it's our book. And he calleth himself the child of the Lord. So, brothers and sisters, they are looking, the Lord is showing us through the precepts that they are looking at us, seeing they're actually watching the awakening. Saying that these people are claiming that they're Israelites. It's written up in the Apocrypha right here in your face, brothers and sisters. He professeth to have the knowledge of God, and he calleth himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thoughts. So they know we were born to correct them, folks. He is grievous unto us to even behold. We can't stand looking at them. For his life is not like other men's. His ways are of another fashion. They don't want to eat what we eat. They don't want to celebrate how we celebrate. 16. We are esteemed of him as counterfeits. They're fake. Yeah, you're counterfeit. You're not the people. Stop claiming to be the people. So the Bible tells us how they think. The Most High put their thought process in the Apocrypha and gave us the wisdom of their thoughts. So we don't have to ask them what they're thinking. The Most High showed us what they're thinking. He abstaineth from our ways as from filthiness. He pronounceth the end of the just to be blessed, and maketh his boast that God is his Father. Speaking of the poor. He is our Father, and his name is Ahiah. Let us see if his words be true, and let us prove what shall happen in the end of him. For if the just man be the Son of God, he will help him and deliver him from the hand of his enemies. He says, so let's see if they're the children of God after I come after them, after what I'm going to do to them. We're going to see if their God will deliver them like he delivered their forefathers in Egypt. That's how the Most High that's how the Gentile nations over you are looking at you. If you're professing that he's your God, then it's going to take a miracle to save you from us. And that's why we tell them, brothers and sisters, you better come back under this hedge and follow this law. Because now that the truth is out concerning we're Israelites, whether you believe you are an Israelite or not, you're still being examined by them as one. And you are an enemy to what? Their dominion. Because according to the Bible, according to the Apocrypha, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, which means they know their fall means our what? You got it. Perpetual, eventual, righteous rulership. After this, they'll have no more, and they know it, folks. So look up Agenda 21. Okay? Look up
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Look up their depopulation plans. All of that is because of what I'm reading right here. The way they feel, because they know this is it. This is the end of their rulership. If they can't rule, they'd rather there be no earth or no people left on it. Okay. Elder Lawyer, you can come on in. Talk to me. And guess what? That's the end of our lesson this evening, right? Of a slave's journey. We weren't meant to be slaves forever, folks. And it doesn't matter what they do. Take things out, put the Bible down, try to demonize the Bible. Regardless of what they do, the Bible prophecies have been fulfilled. The children of Israel are awakened. We're here now. Elder Lawyer, talk to me.
Just one last scripture I want to read before we close out.
Come on.
It says here in Revelation chapter 12, verse number 14, down to verse 17.
Come on.
And to the woman were given 2 great wings of an eagle, that she may fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and a half time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. So the serpent, otherwise known in the Bible as Satan, tried everything he could to keep us from receiving the truth and the knowledge and understanding of the Bible, even when as far as using his people, the Romans, to take out pieces of the Bible and take out pieces of information, to miseducate us concerning the Bible. But it still didn't work. The Most High still allowed us to prevail. In fact, it goes on here in verse number 16 to say, and the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, who went to make war with her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. So this is who Satan is afraid of. And this is who has been under Satan's radar since the fall of 70 AD. And all praise be to the Most High, though we're still arising from that valley of dry bones, nonetheless we're rising. And we give all praise and honor to the Most High for giving us the grace and the opportunity to come back in this time through his only begotten Son, to return to our faith, to return to our heritage, and to return to our laws, statutes, and commandments. And with that, I say shalom.
Well, thank you, Elder Lawyer, and thank you for staying up. Of course, we've had an extended broadcast tonight for whatever reason, but maybe it's the will of the Most High. We're going to try to keep this thing going forward within about two and a half hours maximum going forward. But, you know, I've been down for a while as far as the cold, and I'm just motivated. I'm glad to be back a little healthy. I'm getting ready for First Fruits this weekend, and I'm excited about that. And I think it carried over to the broadcast that, you know, I've been down, and the Most High have me able to teach, to bring forth some understanding, to inspire some thought, to help people towards this kingdom of heaven this evening. And I took the extra time to do so this evening. Okay. So with that, I'm going to say shalom. It's a slave's journey, but brothers and sisters, soon we will be what? In this kingdom, like it says in the book of Revelations, kings, princes, and princesses. Okay. Kings and priests, and we shall rule on the earth. And that will be the end of a slave's journey, right? You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Brothers and sisters, we will soon see Zion. Shalom, thank you for your participation. And next week, we have a guest coming on. He's going to go into what's going on in New York with Tazadakia as far as what's going on with the federal case and all those things. I've spoken with him, and he's going to come on as a guest next week. And we're going to find out what's going on with that news article that they put out there on the Daily News of Tazadakia of the Israeli Church of God in Jesus Christ next Wednesday, if it be the Most High's will. With that, we're going to say shalom. May the Most High be with you all. Stay prayed up, brothers and sisters, and sin not. We will soon see Zion. Shalom. Bless you.
Are you seeking to strengthen your biblical foundation? Join us in the Hebrew Bible Academy, where we offer 12 weeks of in-depth learning in a structured environment. Receive real-time news from Brother Rawchaa and amazing lessons by Elder Rawchaa. Learn ancient Hebrew with Elder Lawya. With 12 amazing lessons, you are guaranteed to learn more about your true biblical history and authentic Hebrew language than you would in a traditional Christian church for only a one-time payment of $150 or 3 monthly payments of $50. Join us at historytimes.org and sign up today. It's not too late. See you in the academy.